See, I'm not sure that it's warranted to mess around with the video quality of any of the codecs because I am fully convinced that video quality just stopped developing sometime about 10 years ago, and
Right.
ever since we're just being sold layers upon layers of bloatware for pretty much nothing.
Right. It's kind of unnecessary. I don't know. I'm almost legally blind, so anything beyond 1080p sitting a foot and a half in front of my face is unrecognizable. Couldn't tell you.
Well, I am significantly myopic, but I can function without my prescription glasses.
Yeah.
But I saw someone play Arkham Knight recently, and it just dawned on me that there have not been games that are more impressive visually, gameplay-wise, premise-wise than that game. And it's what, like a 12-year-old game at this point?
It's pretty old at this point, yeah. It was like the mid 2010s or something like that.
Yes, something around those lines. And the gaming industry has failed to produce anything that would be, comparably impressive. Like, we soypog at fucking Monster Hunter every time it comes out, but realistically, it's the same game with worse optimization. Thank you, de nouveau.
Right, of course. I mean, there are still tiny ways that, it all comes down to stylization at this point, I think.
Tiny ways, exactly. Like, is Monster Hunter Wilds materially different from Worlds, except for the fact that it has, I don't know, fucking grappling hooks or whatever they've added this time.
Yeah.
And Worlds is also like a 10-year-old game at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I think ray tracing is bullshit. I think DLSS is bullshit. And I shan't be having it.
I think a lot of it is streamlining at the expense of processing power, because you can no longer rely on good talent to do things manually.
Sure. Yeah.
Like 15 to 10 years ago, you would just have a good environment artist manually crop in the god rays, for example.
Yeah, baked shadows and stuff. It was, when it was done right, it was absolutely gorgeous. There wasn't any fancy technology. It was just art.
Yeah, it's people knowing how to do, whatever they do well. And now I feel like all of the tools are being streamlined to such a point where they're designed to be handled by idiots, with the assumption that it's going to free up more mental bandwidth to make things that are impressive faster. But instead, we just get, shovelware shit like Suicide Squad.
Oh, good lord. Oh no, not the Suicide Squad.
Also allegedly made by Rocksteady.
Yeah, that was well, that's why Rocksteady's dead. That's why,
hell yeah.
That's why they're dead. They got what they deserved. They should have known better.
Are they dead?
As far as I understand, yeah, they're dead.
Interesting.
As far as I understand, I mean, this is what I, secondhand information. I might be wrong, but yeah, as far as I understand, Warner Brothers shut down Rocksteady completely.
Hell yeah, rest in piss.
You get what you deserve.
Exactly. Like, none of the people who worked on things I like and were worth any kind of recognition were left at the company, from what I understand. Sole blue-haired, art lib majors trying to prove some kind of asinine point at the expense of, I don't know, fucking decolonizing Batman or whatever backwards shit they were trying to do. people trying to develop Dustborn under the Batman franchise.
Oh man, I love me some Dustborn. Ooh. Oh, I can't wait for to play that again.
Wait, again? Why?
I decided this was I decided to play through it just, because psychologically torturing myself is
I've seen you play it once.
Yeah. But like I want to do it again to see if it's like worse than the last time I did it. If I remember it being as bad.
I doubt it has any replayability. I
don't think it does, no.
It's not even so bad it's good. Like, it's not even Kusoge bad.
Right.
That's the thing.
Absolutely.
Like, you have games that are just accidentally good despite being janky pieces of shit.
Sure, of course.
that's why the term kusoge even exists.
Yeah.
They're not even kusoge. It's just incompetent and boring.
Yeah. But man, I people sure love watching me suffer through that. I got physically ill playing that.
I think there are better ways to make you suffer. Realistically,
I'm sure there are, but nobody's suggested anything yet. So
I'd rather see you try to learn a fighting game.
oh no, oh not again. No, every time that comes up, it just never goes well.
There it is. There's your real fear.
I am like diametrically opposed to just the notion of fighting games.
I kind of get it. Like the whole premise of I have to do homework to play a game while being somewhat backward. I kind of get it.
Like, look, I spent like a decade playing like semi-pro StarCraft 2, and Dota. Like, I'm not trying anything that requires a brain anymore.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, modern Tekken doesn't seem to fit the bill then. Barely requires a brain anymore.
Yeah. I picked Eddie Gordo. I mashed the buttons.
Yeah. No. Buttons multiple? No, that's way too difficult.
I mashed the button singular.
You mash the button singular.
Hell yeah, dude.
Someone set up a bot and ran him on Twitch, running Eddie Gordo, just pressing what's referred to as 3 in our notation system, which is X on PlayStation and A on Xbox. And he got to like almost red ranks.
Dang.
And that's with people. Like that. Yeah, and that's what. See, I think he would have gotten up higher up in ranks if people weren't deliberately stream sniping him or plugging on him, just rage quitting the match. Because at the time, for some reason, when someone rage quits on you, you wouldn't get the win for that.
What a bunch of downers.
Yeah, like small indie company Bandai Namco apparently can't set their webcode to register which one of the parties is still connected to the server if a disconnection occurs.
Yeah, well, I mean that sounds like Bamco. Bamco is as a Gundam fan. Bamco is basically like equivalent in awful scale to like Pol Pot as far as I'm concerned. like oh man, if Bamco disappeared, I don't think anyone would really miss them.
Aren't they the publisher for Elden Ring and other Souls-like games?
Yeah, Bamco publishes all the FromSoft stuff. Except for that new Nintendo Switch 2 game that they got coming out, whatever it's called. I don't know.
There's a Nintendo Switch exclusive Souls-like?
It's like a multiplayer Souls-like thingy or something like that.
Okay, I guess it gives someone a reason to buy a Switch, I guess.
Yeah. So like a Souls extraction shooter on the Switch too. I don't know. Nothing of reading the headline about it engaged me past like, oh, that's okay. And then I walked off.
Yeah, I would have honestly stopped at needing to buy a Switch.
Yeah, because I'm not fucking doing that.
Same. The Pokemon almost enticed me, and then I was like, I can play Pokemon on my phone, and that's kind of Pokemon enough for me.
Sure, yeah.
Like, why would I need another time burner so that I can play Pokemon while I walk, but also I can play Pokemon while I sit?
Yeah. Shit, you can play Pokemon while you sleep too.
Oh, that's true. That's true. There's
dude.
Pokemon Sleep.
Yeah, which I don't understand why that's a thing.
I guess it's a way to gamify sleep tracking. Like, I do sleep tracking. I just have a different dedicated app and like a fitness wearable for that. I guess if you need to gamify that for like kids or, retarded adults, also known as millennials, that's
sounds about right.
That's I guess that's how you would do that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. I'm old man hours, dude. I go to bed at like 10, wake up at like 6.
God, I fucking wish. Whenever I have the capability of doing that, I feel so much better. It's almost as if a circadian rhythm should be tied to, like, the amount of daylight that's available to you.
Yeah, it's usually how that works.
Unfortunately, life just fucking happens at you very fast, especially in the evenings, and I find myself sitting down to try to squeeze in something to do in the evenings, and before I know it, it's 1 a.m., and I'm beyond any kind of help.
Yeah, I used to have that problem, but then I was like, no, you know what? Microdosing ketamine. Yeah. Microdosing ketamine, man, knock your ass out.
You know what? If that helps, that helps. See, I don't have an issue falling asleep. That's fine. I have an issue of going to bed at 10 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
it's not that my mind wanders or anything. No, if I get to bed in a reasonable time and I don't get distracted by, I don't know, playing with my phone or doing something else before I go to bed or whatever else can derail your bedtime. No, I'm going to be cold out. If I can't fall asleep organically, I'll put on a Warhammer 40k lore video and I'll be out like a light in 10 minutes.
Hell yeah. I love those long form, like 4+ hour YouTube documentaries about just random crap.
I don't have 4-hour long ones. My go-to is Arch Warhammer's playlist on a specific topic that he's doing, like the Siege of Rocks. Because it's usually like the most boring factions doing the most boring shit. Oh, it's the fucking Krieg and the 171st Artillery of the Imperial Guard making slight incremental movements along no man's land. Fascinating.
I don't know anything about
It's
Warhammer.
It's 10 more chapters until the main characters show up and something actually happens.
All I know about Warhammer is that StarCraft is better. That's all I know about Warhammer.
I don't think StarCraft... StarCraft is very different because, like, StarCraft is self-contained and is predominantly an RTS game. The point of Warhammer is that it's a vast setting where you have lots of things and lots of formats to experience it. You can experience it through the tabletop, also known as plastic cocaine. You can experience it through the video games, which is a more recent development, and the most recent being the Warhammer Plus series that Games Workshop is trying to sort of dish out more consistently recently. Did you know that they've essentially nuked their entire fan-made sort of content ecosystem before they were going to launch that?
No, this is news to me.
Well, for the better part of like 15 years, most visual Warhammer content was fan-made.
Okay, yeah.
The vast majority of it, except for that one absolute embarrassment of a CGI movie that was called Space Marine. Everything good and worth watching was fan-made. There was a parody series called If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device. There were tons of lore channels, Arch Warhammer, interestingly enough, being one of the biggest ones, while also being actively shunned and blacklisted by Games Workshop. And then there was also, like, it peaked at Astartes and Death of Hope. Those were, like, two very high production quality CGI movies, or rather CG series, regardless of what you call them. So... Games Workshop essentially sent everyone a cease and desist, with the exception of the guy who made Astartes, to whom they've made an offer of, you stop making fan-made projects, you come work for us, and you only do Warhammer stuff for us.
So,
well, there you go.
Trying to... not having anything to do with Warhammer myself, although I do know plenty of people who are into it in at least some capacity. The one thing I've heard that y'all have in common is fuck Games Workshop.
Yeah, that checks out.
That's like the one thing that, between all of the other stuff, that just sort of goes right over my head. Is the
I wouldn't say that it's fuck Games Workshop. I disagree with like 30% of the shit they do. They do a decent job at safeguarding the franchise, or at least they've done so up until recently. They've been making some weird concessions to what I think they perceive to be their wider or their volatile audience, while realistically it's just outside screechers who are trying to police other people's hobbies. Like there's like this whole discussion around female space marines. Fortunately, that particular discussion has finally died the fuck off because it never needed to happen. If you want to, I can try sort of rabbit holing into that to give you a little bit of perspective so you understand like the extent of how fucking ridiculous it is.
I remember reading and hearing from other people about it as that was happening. And it was quite the shit show from what I remember.
So to the credit of Games Workshop, they stood their ground. They withstood the lib shit temptation to get longhoused and retcon the core lore. The lore that was written that you cannot have female space marines because all space marines are technically like post hoc genetic progeny of their male primarchs. Therefore, like the genetic surgeries needed can't be performed on the females because like they won't accept the
just won't take
sort of the neo organs that they need to have implanted that carry the genetic code of the Primarch of each legion. So, and there was this whole sort of shit stink of, why is this male-only space exclusive, and why can't there be female space marines? And that was sort of a big conversation of like, you can accept space magic, but not female space marines. And that's how you sort of identify a tourist.
Right.
And again, to Games Workshop's credit, they stood their ground, they stood firm, they said, no, the lore says you can't have female space marines. However, they did concede ground because in the Warhammer Plus series, they've added a female custodian. Custodians basically being like a super special bespoke version of space marines. Like even cooler, even harder, they lack a Primarch. Their gene therapies are different, and they sort of latched onto the ambiguity of the lore of there never being a direct statement of like there cannot be any female custodies, and custodies are supposedly different from space marines,
right?
Even though they're really not. Like they still managed to lib shit, but they did so in the margins.
Okay, yeah, they kind of chose they're like they gave him a bone.
Yes. Yeah. I assume that has mostly to do with Amazon's pressure. The rumor has it that Games Workshop wants to take the hobby mainstream, basically, and one of the ways of doing that was having a series of movies made with Amazon. Or they're licensing out to Amazon is basically how they do it, because they rarely do anything in-house except for developing the lore and making the minis. Everything else is always licensed out.
Right.
And apparently the long-standing agreement with Amazon was, like, we're going to give you the license to make a level of, an episode of Secret Level, which they did. And they were in talks to make a live-action series with Henry Cavill, in a prominent role, and Amazon was insisting on you need to insert the Globo Homo or we're out.
Right.
And Henry Cavill was also having none of that. He's actually a hardline custodian player. And he was like, fuck no, fuck right off. There will be no if you have female space marines, I'm not participating in this shit show. I don't care like what kind of penalties you have in my contract. I'm not doing that. So, and the middle ground seems to be that Games Workshop has inserted that one token female custodian into one of its Warhammer Plus series. So now they're sort of proceeding through that middle ground of still keeping Henry Cavill, however begrudgingly, and they're still moving forward with the live action series with Amazon. Amazon being pleased that they've managed to longhouse at least a segment of the lore.
Oh. Well, nothing good goes untarnished nowadays.
Essentially, yes. I guess we have to be happy that the franchise was at the very least spared the what they're fucking called, Rings of Power treatment.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or what happened with Magic the Gathering and continues to happen with Magic the Gathering.
Oh yeah, or that.
Oh. Oh my god. I can't. Don't even get me started.
I'm so happy that I dodged that particular brand of cardboard cocaine, and I stuck to the less expensive but more shallow version of it in Pokemon cards, and I blew my load very early on because I was fascinated with it as a child, and then as an adult I sort of got access to the Pokemon TCG again. Like right after I turned 30, and I like blew $300 on Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I know I have plenty of friends who've done exactly that. Turn 30, Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I just reverted back to a happier place. I have a very nice misprint card. Like it's missing exactly one layer out of the print, so hypothetically worth a lot of money. But I wasn't doing it for the collecting, or rather not for the speculative component. I was doing that because I wanted to interact with like a childhood hobby that I had limited access to as a child. And then I bought like a pre-made tournament deck and gave it to my wife to play. And the fucking deck turns out to play itself. And I got so butthurt that I fucking dropped the entire goddamn hobby. Because all the fucking thing does is like, oh, discard your hand and draw a new one if there's not a Pokemon there. Oh, attach all of the fucking energies that you usually used to be able to do once per turn. So she has like 3 fully loaded stage 3 or EX Pokemon, like completely power crept out of your mind. And I'm over here sitting with my shitty legacy cards trying to back engineer some kind of counterplay, even though I just don't get to play at all.
Yeah, it's like playing against a blue player in MTG, right? Just
I guess
you're watching somebody else play the game, which
yeah. Which sort of makes sense because I did some digging, and apparently it's like a deck that was used by like a 10-year-old to win the world championship. And I'm like, oh, your parents designed this deck. I see. Oh, yeah. Very, very cute. Because like it requires no input from the player outside of, oh, I pick big attack and do all of the damage to you.
Yeah. The very purest form of Pokemon. the way God intended the game to be played.
I guess so, but like I don't really like to be on the receiving end of the main character experience.
No, of course not.
Especially after having spent money to compile my exotic gimmick decks. Because my gimmick deck was built around like 3 different flavors of Gengar, which not only is technically obsolete against bullshit like that, it's also not even legal to use in any of the modern TCG apps. Yeah, like all of my nice cards are also now banned.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah.
That's like, well, can't do anything with this anymore. Haha.
So yeah, fuck whoever thought of that, and those particular cardboard cocaine merchants. Thank you. I will stick to video games and tea.
Yeah. It's kind of, as a hardcore video games and booze connoisseur, that works for me. As long as they don't get rid of Jack Daniels, I think I'll be just fine.
Well, you never know. Well, I mean, see, if the culture didn't shift recently, you would be in danger of eventually having to drink Jill Daniels, but I think we're safe for now. The cultural zeitgeist seems to have finally shifted to For Christ's sake, I just want to grill.
Yeah. Oh, hey, don't make me tap the sign, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Don't make me tap the sign. So you see that, like, all of a sudden they were, all these, like the army ad coming out, and it's like, there's no weird gender stuff anymore. We're the army. And it's like, I see what you're doing now. Yeah, nice try. Nice try, motherfucker.
Every time there's some kind of escalation in the Middle East, suddenly it's all good Midwestern boys.
Yep.
In those ads.
Yep. Yeah. It's like, wow, it's a lot less gay and minorities in the army all of a sudden in this commercial. I wonder why.
Although I think the last ones the most recent ones I'm getting for the chair force, those are with minorities and strong independent women. Not sure if lesbian. Mm-hmm. They look like lady golfers, but they don't outright say it.
Right.
So I think we're coming back to, like, the promise of no new wars seems to be in the roadmap so far. So they're back to trying to hit their minority recruitment goals.
Yeah. They're not pulling one over on me.
I mean, I'm just too old to join at this point.
Yep. That's the nice thing, is I'm too old and too busted. Unless you want me piloting drones from my chair, and I can earn V-bucks for it at the same time. Like, no thanks, dog. I'll pass.
So you joke about V-bucks. I'm pretty sure there could be some kind of arrangement for that. Like, there are video games that give veteran benefits right now.
Oh man, that's...
Yeah.
War Thunder? Is it War Thunder? I hope it's War Thunder.
I'm not sure if it's... No, it's not War Thunder, because War Thunder is a Russian developer.
Oh, that's right.
I think the DoD would be remiss to have any kind of direct connection to them.
Missed opportunity.
Maybe that way they would have, a more direct line of communication to shut down those sensitive information leaks.
Yeah, exactly. They could get ahead of the curve on that one. I can't believe that was like hearing that story, and that it's happened multiple times. It was not something I had on my bingo card.
I mean, it's service members arguing with each other on the internet, and you know that there's no such thing as letting a disagreement on the internet go, because that would mean that the other guy is right, and fuck him in particular. So you have sort of your... How should I put this? When you encounter a large cross-section of the population, you're going to inevitably end up with people who are slightly below average intelligence, and they are going to resort to immediate gratification without really considering the consequences.
It makes perfect sense to me.
Especially in countries with conscription.
Oh, yeah.
Then you're kind of introducing a negative selection bias there. Like, you're only getting people who could not get out of conscription.
Yeah.
Or like mandatory military service.
Yeah. You're getting you're not getting the sons of oligarchs, for sure.
Yeah. I'm not sure how it's handled in South Korea. They seem to have a very strong sort of cultural preference to, like, you're actually excused from society if you dodge service.
Yeah,
same as Israel.
Nobody who's running the sons of the people running the chaebols are not getting no way. No, fuck no, dude. You think any of the sons of Samsung are actually having to do conscription? Fuck no.
I don't know. I know that, like, a lot of their media personalities who are well liked and very popular, those like take frequent. Well, it frequently so happens that they have to take a hiatus from whatever they're doing from their media career. A lot of the esports stars who are like in high regard, they have to interrupt their careers to do their mandatory service.
It's they have the South Korean military has a professional StarCraft team, which. All the top boys were on that. Flash, Jaedong, Bisu. Yeah.
I don't know the StarCraft players. I know the Korean Tekken players, and I've heard that a few of them have had to take breaks from competing because they were doing mandatory service. That I did hear.
It's sometimes they like defer it for a little bit. But it's like, no, I'm making too much money at video games, so I'm gonna put off going to the military for a little while.
I mean, if you can do that, that's also a nice flexible option. I know in Israel, there's not really an option to do that. Like, if you actually skip military service, regardless of whose son you are, like, it's going to be very difficult for you to live life in that society afterwards. The only exception being religious college students, like the strict Orthodox.
Yeah.
Jews, they're under exception, but even then, like, they're not a really well-liked population in Israel.
No, they're not. They are not liked.
Yeah. Them and the Shabbatniks, like, they're seen as, like, fucking weird and obnoxious.
Yeah.
So again, that sort of falls in line with you're weird for skipping out. So I don't know. I would easily see, like, the progeny of the Chobol heads doing some kind of, cushied up mandatory service.
Yeah, they're put in an air conditioned room to stamp papers or something. And
I assume they get a desk job and, like, an officer badge, and, like, they go do that basically.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, listen, they do it. How should I put this? I never had the opportunity to do that in the U.S. Army because I was too young for the initial steps of GWAT, and then I spent most of my time growing up and, like, as a legal adult outside of the U.S. And at this point, okay, I'm 33. Hypothetically, if I were to throw away my career, I could aspire to be an Army Ranger, I guess, if I dedicated some time to meeting the physical standards and also, like, foregoing the paycheck I currently get in order to enlist as a private.
Right.
And then hope to get into Ranger school.
Yeah, but, paycheck.
Cool in theory,
Yeah, cool.
but
Like,
probabilistically...
Yeah.
It's not that I disrespect the practice. I respect the people who go through it. It just does not make sense for me from the perspective of the peripheral responsibilities that I have.
Right. Yeah. You already got a thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have dependents that rely on me not to do silly, irresponsible shit.
Yeah. There's no fun allowed. We're old now.
Well, you can have a little bit of fun, just not, join the French Foreign Legions kind of fun.
Yeah. Look, I'm just saying, we get enough dudes together, we could take Haiti. Like 200?
Easy.
200
easy.
dudes, probably.
Listen, Lord Miles and his fucking gaggle of Eurocucks, they've got nothing on just a group of bored, good old American boys.
Exactly.
Like, I'm sorry, y'all haven't held a modern firearm in your hands ever. Unless you, like, live specifically in the Czech Republic.
Right.
In which case, it's only CZ shit.
Yeah. So if I'm thinking of a company that I trust to take over Haiti, it's Kel-tec.
I hate that you're correct.
It's fucking If I'm trusting I'm trusting Kel-tec to help me take over Haiti.
See, I think we need to take a book out of the classics. I think we should all just be sporting trench shotguns, just slam firing them.
Slam fire. Oh, you know what? Yeah.
Listen, you clear out the first wave of cannibals, and they're gonna get the message.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
If shotguns weren't made a war crime back then, I'm gonna make sure they are by the time we're done.
I know. What is that? Is why are shotguns a war crime? That's such bullshit.
They're not. It's just that the Germans are bitches and they're sore losers.
No, you can't use the shotguns. No. Gas is cool though.
Yeah, like chemical weapons are cool, but
I mean, they are cool though. Like it just
some really fast cool ball bearings. No, that's pushing it too far.
Flechettes. Ooh, can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, fortunately, 1, I'm not in no army, and 2, I can't fucking read.
Yeah. It's like, man, this big list of rules would really intimidate me if I could fucking read.
Yeah, this is a fine checklist. I'll make sure to hit every point on it.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's big if true, big if true. I recently scored myself a Mossberg shotgun that I have absolutely no fucking use for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had a Mossberg Shockwave.
Oh, I want a Shockwave. They're so goofy.
It's a cool little gun,
They're cool,
and
guys.
we're realistically looking at short-barreled rifles and shotguns being deregulated by the end of the year. Like there is a real shot.
Yeah.
So like you put a stock on that thing, and it's a stout little boomstick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a cute little guy.
Yeah. Like it's not a bad gun by any extent of the imagination, but I have a Benelli M1014. So like, it just does all of the same things but better and faster.
Yeah. I've got a. Oh god, I don't even remember. I don't know if mine. I got a shotgun so long ago, and I think I've like taken it out like shooting clays like 3 times, and I don't even remember what it is.
Yeah, listen, the Benelli is a range toy in this household.
Yeah.
Like it's a fine gun.
Yeah.
I fully accept the fact that it'll cut a body in half if you shoot it fast enough with just buckshot. But I don't trust myself with the fine motor skill of continually feeding a shotgun under stress.
Right.
Anything that's roughly AR pattern, you drop the magazine, you pop in a fresh one, and like you have 30 shots between, like on either side of that particular action. It's also a simpler action to execute.
Yep. It's the gold standard. Yeah.
So that's why like my home defense, or like realistically my do everything rifle, is a 300 Blackout SIG MCX. But the Benelli is cool. I'll take it to the range. I'll run it. I'll try to learn to violin load better. Maybe in 10 years, I'm comfortable enough with it to switch it out as the primary home defense rifle. But right now, I'm sticking with the thing that's easier to operate, that I can suppress, and also doesn't rip out an entire chunk out of my drywall.
Yeah. We don't love over penetration in this house. In any house, actually. Your neighbors don't like it either, I'm sure.
They probably, they don't want to deal with that rifled slugs that are going through 3 walls in their house.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. That's why, I mean, like, I live in such an isolated area that, like, I wouldn't have to ever worry about, like, needing home defense, but like maybe a bear. And at that point, it's like 5.56. Yeah, 5.56 can take a black bear.
If you say so. I never looked at it. Yeah, I would want something a little bit more substantial, I guess.
Black bears are like the small ones. They're not like brown bears are the real scary ones, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Brown bears are significantly larger, scarier, and meaner.
Yeah, black bears, like you could. They'll run away. They don't give a fuck. Like you put one in them, even if that doesn't put him down, he's running. You know.
Yeah, we unfortunately have more aggressive wildlife than bears where I'm at.
Yeah.
And the wildlife has figured out that the abundance of Indians that's available in Austin has an aversion to guns. Oh. Therefore, there's not going to be any shooting from behind that wall, from behind that door.
Yeah.
So any neighborhood that has any kind of registrable presence of Indians is going to get hit by break-ins.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, fortunately, they do a good job of marking their own doors by the pile of sandals outside.
Yeah. So. See, I've got the other kind of Indians, and like you it's a toss-up if you were to try and break into one of their teepees. Yeah,
those, like, you're probably not leaving with your scalp intact.
No,
that's different. No,
like you don't know how drunk that guy is at any given moment.
See, that's a deterrent. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate the fact that the fucking California transplant Hindus are constantly should I put this? They're actively resisting Texan culture of being armed and interacting with weapons on a daily basis.
Right.
And they're also like by being soft targets, they're presenting incentives for break-ins inside of their neighborhoods. It's like I'm on the verge of just having a flag designed. We eat cheeseburgers in this household.
Yeah. Just do a lot more grilling.
Yeah.
Right out front. Just right out front.
I mean, I do, like, part of the reason I open carry to my mailbox is to very specifically make it unpleasant for my Indian neighbors.
Hell yeah. Do they do that fucking head wobble thing? I hate that head wobble thing.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to them. I just look through them.
That head wobble thing, like, something about that, like...
I just make sure to pop in that bright red extended magazine that I have for my Glock so that it's clearly visible on my belt.
Hell yeah.
You know what this is? This is a gun. This is a gun that I am open carrying because this is Texas, not fucking Palo Alto.
Yep. Oh god, I hate Palo Alto. Mm-hmm. As having lived in the Bay Area, not
imagine just clawing your way to being afford like a fucking, I don't know, $10 million house on Venice Beach. Buying it in like the early 2000s. And then the fucking Venice Beach favelas just swallow the entire area.
Oh, it's so like when I lived in the Bay Area, it was like 2012. And like even back then it was like it wasn't the worst. It was really, I mean, it was pretty shit, but it wasn't like, you know.
It was still okay. It was still
all right.
I've seen the Bay Area in like 2017. It was still pretty okay. 2017, 2018, pretty manageable.
Yeah. It just got to the point where like, fuck.
Yeah. Apparently, if you double down on like bad policies and dipshitted behaviors and, you know, creating incentives for behaviors that are actively bad for the people who live there, you're going to turn your state into a shithole.
Yeah. Let's make it to where, you know, hey, what if we made theft legal? Let's Why come we can't steal them Jordans? Why come the Jordans ain't free?
Yeah. And then, whenever the business is kind of tired of having their inventory stolen and want to leave an area, that's racism, man.
Oh, because I used to, I worked in downtown San Francisco on Powell Street.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is where the cable car turnaround is and everything. Powell and Market.
Okay.
And
yeah, I know that area.
I worked at the super. There was a super fucking big H&M there. That's where I worked when I was in film school, and I was like, they just when I was there, they like added a whole nother floor and like spent like a couple like easy like couple $10 million renovating the place. That store is not open anymore.
I wonder why.
I couldn't imagine the big Westfield Mall on Market, which is like it's like 6-7 stories, huge, massive shopping mall, empty.
Really?
It's like, yeah, there's like, I think it's at like 10% operating capacity. Like the whole,
Holy
like the 3 topmost floors aren't even accessible because there's just nothing there.
Imagine the property values.
Oh.
Yeah, and the tax you have to pay on it.
Yeah, you're not getting any returns on that. So I know Westfield, which is like I guess the company that like operates the mall itself, like that's their thing. Is they just buy up mall properties and then lease out the individual stores.
It's a fine business model.
They sold off the mall. They're like, yeah, this ain't worth it. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, especially if, you know, the insurance companies are no longer willing to insure you if you're in California.
Yep.
They're actually speedrunning being a failed state. Like that's a distinct impression that I'm getting. Like they are speedrunning not even the fall of the Rhodesia, because no one is going to fight for that pile of shit. They're speedrunning South Africa.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like anybody who actually gives a fuck and has anything to lose is like, I'm gonna get out of there.
Yeah, yeah. The difference being that no one pressured them to do that. It's entirely self-inflicted.
Yeah. It's amazing that this like these people sit there and watch as shit gets worse, and it's like it's that goofy meme comic with the dog and the house is on fire. And this is fine. Mm-hmm. It's exactly that.
I'm going to continue voting the exact same way I did.
Mm-hmm. And then if they do leave to places like Texas, Arizona, Idaho, they vote the exact same way, and it's like, stop, dude, go, don't.
So, yes and no. I think that a lot of these people have managed to break the conditioning once they left the plantation. Because I personally know a Californian transplant into Austin, of all places.
Mm-hmm. Which is like the California of Texas.
Shut the fuck up.
I mean, come on. It's Austin, dog. Like,
okay. Downtown Austin, yes. It's San Francisco, Texas.
Yeah.
Completely agreed. Once you're outside of downtown proper, it's still Texas. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Let's split this baby this way, because even according to the voter rolls, and those are like very, very recent changes, Greater Austin has become redder than it was pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
So there is a certain realization. That's also a product of the fact that the most libtarded people have left Texas because they just couldn't live. Yeah, they couldn't hang with the culture, basically. Yeah. They got scared off back to their godforsaken shithole. Mm-hmm. But so I have an acquaintance who's a Californian transplant, and he like started as your stereotypical, absolutely like cookie cutter classic lib. Mm-hmm. He now has more guns than me.
Oh, once the hook's in you, then
once the poison cleared, these people are full of shit, and all they want is to touch kids.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. And then he just snapped out of it.
It's like, why do I want a gun now? I'm gonna go get guns. Yeah, that's one of those. One of the things that I talk about with my girlfriend that I always find funny is she's like, I don't understand why you need all those guns, and I'm like, sweetie, it's not the Bill of Needs, it's the Bill of Rights.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a good way to put it. It's not that I need all of the things that I have in life. It's that the American way is that I should have the things that I want and have the resources to buy.
Yeah. She's like, but what is this one for? I'm like, it's fucking cool. That's what it's for.
Yes. Well, see, she it's just that she doesn't understand the male pattern train autism that also contributes to guns.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because there is an appreciation of a well-made mechanical thing going through the cycle of the mechanical parts interacting. She just does not understand the itch in the male brain that scratches.
There is nothing quite like the distinct clack of my M1 carbine.
Exactly.
I've never shot it once. I just like sitting there every once in a while, and I'll just be watching like YouTube videos or reading manga or something, and just and I'm like, ooh, it does something. It's primal.
Yeah, I just like running the action on my Benelli because it's a cool fucking gun. Yeah. You can feel like all of the little pathways, all of the little turns and twists that the bolt takes as it travels. Like, that's fucking cool. Oh, yeah. It's cool to learn to ghost load.
Yeah, you'll get it sooner or later. She'll get it.
Yeah. So listen, there are guns that you need. There are guns that you need, but there are also guns that are just safe queens that are cool to own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't need an MP5 because it's an antiquated platform in an anemic caliber that doesn't make sense for that size of platform.
Yeah.
However, an original MP5 is still fucking cool to own.
I was always more of a fan of the K, personally, but
I don't have a specific preference among them. I'd probably say maybe the SD is my preferred one because, integrally suppressed anything is better.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that there's a chance that we could get cans again without having to, jump through hoops.
Without the Fed process, that's more than likely to happen.
Yeah.
The SBR part is sort of up in the air.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice to have. I think we would need a Senate we would need the Senate to specifically add the short barrel provision and not fuck with the cans. It's mostly in the bag that nobody is going to fuck with the cans because there's a Republican majority, and if a Republican tries to fuck with the cans, their career is completely fucking over. They're gonna get the Cornyn treatment.
Yeah. They would. It's not worth it. And also, like, there's really no argument against the cans.
Well, there are retarded arguments against the cans.
Yeah, but it's anybody who knows how they actually are knows that it's not like in the movies where pew.
It's not even that point. We shouldn't legislate around the hypothetical evils done by an extreme minority of people.
Sure.
Like, all you have to do is actually prosecute with the laws that are on the books, and then leave all of the legal conduct the fuck alone. Yep. The primary use of cans, and you can't say that they're dangerous and unusual because there's like millions of them in circulation, and there is a vanishingly small number of registered NFA items used in the commission of a crime. So statistically, 99.9% of cans are used to prevent hearing damage from people who shoot a lot.
Yep.
And then you have the absolutely, completely not a government fucking glow-op in Luigi Macaroni.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Shooting the fucking healthcare executive. Definitely not a preemptive measure to poison the well, because they knew that they're heading for a Senate and congressional Republican majority with a president who's going to sign a deregulation of cans. Definitely completely by accident, someone who's connected to the Pelosi family shoots and kills a healthcare CEO with a 3D printed can.
Yep. Which is great too, because oh man, I can't wait until they start actively trying to fuck with 3D printed firearms. I know they've tried on and off, but it's like, what are you gonna do? Make 3D printers illegal?
Well, California does that. California criminalizes owning the files.
Oh, thought crimes.
Yeah, they are that retarded.
Let's go. Yeah, it's super.
Yeah,
that's.
We need a civil war just to have the opportunity to reconquer California and purge it of whatever the fuck has taken root there.
Can't we just have the Ring of Fire explode and they sink into the ocean? Because Arizona having beachfront property sounds so nice.
That's very true. Yeah, I mean, given the high concentration of undesirables, that probably would have been the best solution, however unlikely it is.
Yeah. That's one of those things that, especially because my dad's hella boomer. He's almost 70, right? And he's always watching this guy on YouTube who's I guess can predict earthquakes by watching charts and shit. And they're always going oh yeah, the California, it's any day now, dude. It's any day. And I'm like, bro, you've been telling me this exact same thing for since I was 5, dude. I'm like, shit or get off the pot.
There is that brand of doomsayer. It's the same with people who are saying, oh yeah, the dollar is going to be irrelevant. Yeah. The dollar is going to crash any year now. I've been hearing that shit for as long as I've been alive, because I've interacted a lot with how should I put this? Revenge-minded Soviet boomers. Bitter, sore losers who keep predicting, oh yeah, the dollar is going to be fucking toilet paper any minute now. Yeah. No, the dollar doesn't exist because we have a sound financial policy. The dollar is not maintained by the fact that we produce something important, although we do. The dollar is maintained by two things. America is the world's largest consumption market, and people want to sell us shit. Yep. And they will pull their own nails out to sell us shit.
Oh, yeah.
people will crawl through broken glass to sell shit to America.
Oh, yeah.
And two, because we have 11 modern aircraft carriers, basically bottlenecking every major body of water. We control and we guarantee world trade.
Yeah.
That's why the dollar is never going away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look at what happened the last time somebody decided they wouldn't want to trade with us. We strolled up on them shores of Japan and said, hey, check this out.
Well, to be fair, Japan didn't want to trade with anyone.
But it was it was America that said, no, I don't think so, bud.
Except for the fucking...
the Dutch.
Who did they trade with? Yeah, they traded with the Dutch and a little bit with the Portuguese.
Yeah.
And very, very minor trade with continental China. But that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we rolled up, sort of demonstrated the fact that... you kind of started lagging technologically, guys.
Yeah.
Can you build big metal boats? Well, I didn't think so. I guess we're trading now.
Yeah. And then they built the biggest metal boat.
And also, well, they built the biggest world's shittiest submarine. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, hey, credit where credit's due. The Yamato is a really cool fucking ship. Way late.
As a concept, yeah.
It's
It
cool.
would have been banger to have it in like the Russo-Japanese War.
Yeah.
Which was like a full fucking 100 years. Or no, wait, no, not 100 years.
No, that
excuse
was
me, like a full 40 years.
Yeah,
40
it was like
years
40
prior.
years prior, yeah.
Yeah,
So it
a
was-
little late.
Yeah. But like credit where credit's due. Fucking cool.
Listen, the Musashi made a banger party yacht,
Oh yeah.
which is all it was fucking used for anyway.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah, it was it's a shame that the Musashi sank as well.
Yeah. They ought to, honestly, like, Japan should just, like, remake the Yamato and just have it be, like, a tourist attraction. Just float it, like, float it in Tokyo Bay or something like that.
Just have it as like a floating amusement park.
Yeah. Be like, you know, that'd be cool. I'd go visit it. Fuck yeah.
Just give us that. See, the Japanese Navy lacks the baggage of the rape of Nankin, so it's technically more. It's a little bit more okay than for example the Japanese Land Army.
Yeah. Well, it's like, hey, look, I don't see Japanese surgeons getting all butthurt about Unit 731, so it's like, fuck it. It's 80-ish years ago. Fuck it.
Yeah, everyone who took part is dead. So
Yeah. Well, I don't know, dude. Some of them Japanese people live a long fucking time.
I know that the head surgeon of Unit Nansanichi, I know he died of cancer something like 10 years after the Japanese surrender.
Yeah, it wasn't
Everyone
long,
else. Yeah, it's not like any of them were bawling. Like all of them basically ended up on the sideline of life and just quietly faded into obscurity.
Yeah. I haven't watched the video, but I was doom scrolling YouTube trying to find something to watch, and it was like how like the fascist Japanese got away with war crimes, and it's just a picture of fucking Hello Kitty's face, and I'm like, that's actually like soft power is so good at shit like that. Be like,
but it's also not that. Like the reason they didn't get away with shit, we dropped the sun on them twice.
Yeah.
It's not exactly getting away with it. They've lost the better part of an entire generation of young men.
yeah, but like you don't hear anybody bitching about it to this day, except for
what's
the
there to bitch
Koreans. The Koreans,
Well, fuck.
Yeah, the Koreans will bitch about everything and anything. 'Cause they have
Yeah, well,
cons.
fuck them. They're still bitching about Toyotomi Hideyoshi like having fucking military campaigns in Korea.
Yeah.
Fucking blow it out your ass. Learn to fight in a style that's not gay, I guess.
Yeah. Man, they invented artillery, and they just and then all of a sudden after that they just dude, honestly, best Korea should just roll them.
It's like big if true. If they had any soldiers that are fucking higher than 4 foot tall.
No, see, that makes them they're a smaller target.
Ah, I see.
see what I'm saying?
Harder to hit.
Harder to hit. Yeah.
See, the problem is that they're also going to
works for the-
expire from exhaustion after they run like a good 100
Hey,
yards.
I don't know, dude. The Vietnamese, the fucking Viet Cong, they managed.
The Viet Cong was never the Viet Cong never had to live under real communism, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So they never were, a generationally starved population.
Yeah, they also got to dip into a neighboring country that wasn't part of the war whenever shit got too hot. North Korea can't really do that.
Shit never really got as hot as it could have because the U.S. was also basically playing with one hand tied behind its back because we had to pussyfoot around the fact
we should have pushed straight into China.
Well, it's not even about that because
should have just nuked China.
Oh, nuking stuff was understood as a big no-no. Like you produce a lot of civilian casualties, but like. The U.S. had forgone bombing known airfields because they could, quote-unquote, contain Soviet and Chinese consultants. Like, it was that fucking stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
We couldn't just go, hey, get your guys out of that particular spot because that spot is no longer going to be there soon.
Yeah.
That's a tactic that was developed significantly later when the U.S. was was having to coexist with Russia and Syria and whatnot. In Vietnam, the problem was that there was not a mandate to just flatten the opposition and recolonize whatever land you take.
Yep.
That's why people fucking misunderstand. I hate it when people try to bring that up as an own, like, oh, the U.S. fucking lost a war to the Viet Cong and to goat herders in Afghanistan. No. Motherfucker, we didn't lose because we never fought to win.
Yeah, you can't lose if there's no win condition.
Oh, would you have preferred that we just flattened the entire fucking country and turned it into a Buc-ee's parking lot?
Yes.
That's fine by me.
Yes, that is exactly what I would prefer, but I don't get to make policy decisions. I'm not fucking Donald Rumsfeld, okay? Fucking, I'm sitting here, I don't got any unknown unknowns, okay? All I got is, I got one known, and I also know that I know it, and it's fucking let God sort them out.
Listen, I'm just saying that I want to have guns as nice as I paid for the fucking Taliban to have.
Yeah, and the cartels.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, if the U.S. military is capable of deploying a Burger King anywhere, I don't see why we shouldn't be able to just build a Buc-ee's instead of the Middle East.
God, can you imagine just a country-sized Buc-ee's?
We can start with Gaza.
Hey, that whole situation, I think everybody can agree. We could just start that shit over. We'll just wipe it and start over. Because it's like it's been going back and forth. Everybody keeps bitching. I'm tired of hearing people bitch about it. Let's just start over.
I mean, listen, they keep saying that it's free. You might as well take it.
I think we could look. We want to build giant beachfront skyscrapers. It's going to take a lot of glass. You know how to make a lot of glass real quick? There's a lot of sand that can be turned into glass right now.
Listen, most of it's already gone. Just let them cook.
I think they're already well overcooked, my dude.
Well, listen, I've been saying that for years. Like, the only way you have that particular conflict sort of resolved to its logical conclusion is just not interfere. Just let nature take its course.
Yeah. Build a wall all the way around.
No, you don't need to build a wall all the way around. It's already walled in all the way around by other Arab countries. That's the thing.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, Egypt is very, very much a like Egypt and Jordan are like, don't fucking come here, dude. We don't want you.
Their position is, don't come here. Last time you did, you tried to overthrow the government.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to, like, why don't we take refugees from that particular reason? Well, you see, they tried to assassinate the king last time.
Yeah. It wasn't a smart look. It just wasn't a good self-destructive intentions,
Yeah. So let's just let that one play out on its own. Maybe shift our focus to people for some reason staging terror attacks on U.S. soil over that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't worry, they'll find some way to drag us into another meaningless conflict here within the next like 10, 15 years.
10 to 15 years, I can see that because I have no understanding of what's going to happen in 4 years. Like, unfortunately, we can't enjoy the benevolent dictator model just because it is so antithetical to the U.S.
Yeah.
Like we have our Lee Kuan Yew. Yeah, we have our Lee Kuan Yew, but unfortunately, he's going to have to leave in 28.
Yeah.
There's no two ways around that.
Yeah, it's I mean, look, once Baron, becomes God Emperor, when he, like things will turn around. We can.
I'm not sure how old he is. He's gonna have to skip like.
Yeah, because you have to be like 35 to.
Yeah, you have to be 35 to run.
Dang, dude.
So he can be heir apparent. It's just that we need to fill 2 election cycles with someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess we're going to have to see who's going to be more based, Stephen Miller or J.D. Vance. My money is on Stephen Miller because he hates immigrants more and doesn't have an Indian wife.
True. Yeah. I'm not super like downer about Vance. I think Vance is all right, I guess.
He's all right.
He's all right.
But again,
Indian wife. Yeah, that's like
Indian wife.
Losing points on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I could run in the next. Yeah, I can run in the next election. I could run for president.
Fuck, do it.
Yeah. Here's my platform. Fuck immigrants. Fuck taxes. That's it. That's the whole platform. There's nothing else.
I think we're currently on that platform.
Well, hey, stay the course.
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Fuck immigrants and fuck taxes. And also, drunk driving isn't a crime unless you crash.
Okay, let's slow the fuck down a little bit, okay? My proposition is a little bit more simple.
I'm gonna get Utah because I'm gonna legalize polygamy.
Okay, but only if we get to purge Minnesota first.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, there should be honestly, people who there should be entire what do you call that?
I'm sorry, not Minnesota, Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. Oh, I was gonna say in Minnesota there should be reservations for Swedish people.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Swedish people.
Yeah.
I have issues with the Mohammedans.
Oh yeah, no, and then also I'm gonna on the topic of reparations, we're giving black people Georgia.
I don't know. I feel like if we count all of the Gibbs, and if we start tallying up that balance, we may be owed some cash back on that particular exchange.
Oh yeah, of course. But at this, look, if we can just make them all go to Georgia, then we don't have to deal with them anymore, and we just.
I mean, Liberia already exists.
Yeah, but we're not gonna. It's a lot more expensive to try and look. They're not gonna fall for getting on the boats again. Okay. They're not. We got them that one time.
Okay, listen. Split the. Well, first of all, we didn't get.
Well,
them
not
shit.
we. Yeah, they got them. Yeah,
because
yeah.
They got by their own.
They
people.
got. Yeah, that was a really good bait and switch. Mutumbe, your tribe is weak, and I am selling you to this man who may or may not be named Rothschild.
See, should have been better at war, bucko.
Yeah, invent guns.
Yeah, do that next time. See, okay, let's split the difference. We annex Haiti, and then they can have Haiti.
Ooh, that's a good idea, actually. Okay, can we we're taking the Baja.
Okay, fine.
We're taking the Baja, and we're taking the Yucatan.
Okay.
And then just slowly but surely work on getting the parts of Canada that aren't super lame and gay.
See,
the oil having parts.
Someone recently brought this up to me in a meme, oh yeah, we're gonna have fucking Canadians vote in our elections. Yeah, how do Canadians vote?
Oh no, we don't give them rights.
Okay, so we we join. We take them over as a territory.
Yes.
Okay, then fine.
Yeah, they're basically like Puerto Rico, but colder.
Yeah, we just tithe them, and that's it.
Yeah, we just look, their economy's already basically destroyed.
Yeah, they did a bang up job with that one without our help.
Yeah, Justin Trudeau was like, "Hey, those gold reserves? What if we just sold those?" And everybody was like, "Wait, but why?" And he was like, "I'm secretly Fidel Castro's son."
Secretly, yeah, right.
Dude, have you seen the picture of like young Fidel Castro?
Of course I have. That's why I'm laughing at the premise of it being secret.
Yeah, it's like
I'm not laughing at the Fidel Castro's son part.
It's like, damn, dude, you okay? Like I know I've got that autism face blindness, but even still, it's like, whoa.
No. I'm sorry, but Cubanita is no longer a meme.
It's true, yeah.
Like I feel bad for the good ones who have to suffer under the yoke of Castro Jr.'s legacy.
Oh God, dude, it's all
because there are some nice Canucks that I know, like Scab being one of them.
I know some nice Canucks. I don't know Scab, but I know of Scab.
Yeah, he's one of the good boys. We need to rescue him.
He's one of them.
Set him up with
he's one of the good ones.
Yeah. He can be a house Canadian.
House Canadian. Yeah.
we need to set him up with a good Texan girl.
Yeah, we just got to make sure he doesn't learn how to read. you don't want them Canadians learning how to read. They start getting uppity.
At least not in English.
Yeah, they can learn French. That's about as close as it gets. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with them French-speaking ones, though, man. All of a sudden, you end up with another Haiti again. Quebec just like all of a sudden they're like putain, and then they
it's just snow Haiti.
Yeah, it's just snow. This is Haiti 2. Blizzard Boogaloo.
Question is, who are they going to execute when they revolt?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, look, in all fairness to the French, like I know, like as Americans we goof on the French, but I think like France is like actually our greatest ally.
I'm pretty sure everyone goofs on the French.
Yeah.
Like there are no exceptions to that rule. It's not like it's an exclusively American thing.
Yeah.
Someone tried to tell me that this is like a psyop that was invented because France didn't want to participate in the Iraq invasion. And I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense chronologically.
Yeah, no, for the French have been getting it well before that. Yeah.
Yeah, we were making fun of the French because they surrendered wholesale in World War II.
Yeah.
Which was significantly earlier than the Iraq invasion.
And Vietnam and World War One.
Well, wait, no, they participated in World War One.
They did participate, but they got basically got their shit kicked in.
Which was a big reason for why they surrendered in World War II. Yeah. They did not have any kind of manpower or any economical capacity to really resist the Nazi invasion.
I love the whole Maginot line. Just like, you know what? Germany, you ain't coming through here, except for potentially that entire country that we didn't bother to build the wall at. So definitely don't go through that completely exposed part right there. Tee-hee.
Well, to be fair, information traveled significantly slower back then, so you could. There were certain gaps in understandings both on the command level and that information in understanding how fast that information would have traveled to the enemy. Right now, everyone has satellites.
I think at the time France like secretly like wanted Germany to come in and spank them. It's like one of those. It's like that ex-girlfriends that like insists that she doesn't like you, but every once in a while she's like, definitely don't come over because I'm like alone and getting drunk right now. So don't get
come over, bitch. You're taking a taxi on your own dime.
It's one of those. Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like, okay, France. I
see what you're doing.
In all fairness, though, France did give us a big ass statue of a lady. So that's kind of cool. They did help us beat the Brits.
That's true. That's true. But they didn't do that because they like us. It's because they hate the British.
Yeah, but like, I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, that's true. I was about to say other Brits, but that also wouldn't be true.
The Scots hate the Brits and the Brits hate the Brits.
Yeah,
the Welsh, they're too busy fucking sheep to really care.
Yeah, the North hate the South,
Yeah,
and like
the people in the
it's a
middle,
whole
the
thing.
people in the Midlands just are like bog creatures. They're sort of like just like they're like the Gorons from Legend of Zelda. It's like fucking Morrowind in there. It's like
You see, I would like the UK to be a nice country. I still have fond memories of it because I've seen London in like 2003, 2005 when it was a nice place, or at least a nicer place.
yeah. Oops.
Before something happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Something happened. Not sure what.
Before the Dark Lord Tony Blair cast a spell over the country.
Wow. Yeah.
I actually lived in London for a short bit.
Yeah. How was that?
It was very fucking European.
Yeah. I mean,
In like the worst sense of the word. Like it was comfy because I lived in a nice area, you know, even though it was sort of walking distance from where a UK service member was decapitated by two Nigerians with a machete.
ooh.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, not great. Not great. But yeah, listen, it was sort of comfy. It was pretty okay for a short while experience. But yeah, it does have a lot of sort of weird, very European inconveniences. Like my entire knife collection is completely illegal there. Let's not even talk about the guns.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like if I were to be targeted for the so-called knockout game by the teens there,
Yes.
and
The lunchtime rowdies.
if I were being the better striker, if I would counterpunch and smash this fucko's face in, I would have faced charges for doing so. Because the concept of self-defense is kind of alien to the Longhouse European.
Yeah, they don't.
It's sort of it's in the small things, like it's in the margins. Yes, the food is okay as long as you don't actually eat British food and mostly live around the Chinese and Japanese. And the museums are nice,
Sure.
but yeah, and the weather is okay like a month out of the year.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really into like gray sky, I mean, I am. I like gray and rainy, so like that wouldn't bug me at all. I'd be about that life.
It's not even it's not the problem isn't that it's gray and rainy. The problem is that you don't have central heating in a climate that's for all intents and purposes oceanic.
Yeah, what is it with Europeans and being allergic to HVAC?
Well, you see, they impose unnecessary restrictions and taxes on their own power grids, and then they make power needlessly expensive, and then heating your home becomes a luxury. So it's an entirely self-inflicted problem that, for example, France doesn't have.
See, leave it up to the French. They know what they're doing.
They just built a shit ton of nuclear plants, and
Yeah.
they're sitting pretty. They're exporting energy because they're making so much of it.
Yeah. Germany got rid of all their nuke plants, which was like, it's like, dude, what are you do? Like you're literally everybody's going like, oh man, we don't want to be buying natural gas from Russia because Russia bad guys. And then it's like, but also, fuck energy independence. Let's buy natural gas from Russia, and everybody goes, yay! And Greta Thunberg goes, yay!
Yeah. Maybe don't take the energy policy advice from someone who's skipped more school than she can remember.
Oh man, dude, fucking Europe's weird, dude. I firmly believe that like almost every like half sane European just was like, fuck that, I'm going to America, dude. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. New world, here we come.
For the most part, Eastern Europe kind of okayish. They have that they got that dog in them.
Yeah.
Like parts of Russia, like Like those still have like good high quality stock. Poles seems to be holding out pretty okay.
Yeah, Hungary's apparently incredibly fucking nice, doing pretty good for itself.
Croatia is very nice.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Croatia is some of the most beautiful fucking property on the planet. Dude, those beaches, the inner Mediterranean. Oh, god damn.
Yeah. It's like Spain, but half as expensive and significantly less gay.
Yeah. Yeah, Spain's like they're like, "Oh, we have to it's 3 p.m. better close the country down for an hour." It's like, dude, what fucking no wonder you guys never got anything done. Like, you guys had a fucking civil war and you didn't even barely fucking finish that. The only good thing that came out of that was fucking Picasso, and he was mostly just sitting around going like, "Damn, dude, this shit's fucked up. What's wrong with these people?" Do you think Picasso fucking took a nap at 3 p.m.? Fuck no, dude.
Yeah, he was actually productive.
He was painting.
Yeah. Still only got second best Spanish painter after Dali, but
yeah,
you know what?
Hey, shit happens.
Yeah.
You can't win them all.
So yeah, there are pockets of sanity, or at least reasonableness in Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Although it's still compared to like the completely long gone parts of Europe, like fucking Germany.
Yeah. I think
it's
it's
like someone tried asking me once, like I was doing like a homecoming stream after a Japanese trip. And someone sent me a marshmallow, like, I forget the wording of it, but like, where would you rather live, Japan or the U.S.? And my answer is always the U.S.
Yeah.
Because America *1, baby.
Yeah, of course.
It's just that the ethos of America agrees with me significantly more because it is a state of of significantly increased freedom and more autonomy. Although, like, I enjoy Japan as an experience, I just don't want to be a part of Japanese society because, A, I'm not Japanese, and I would prefer to be a part of, the, how should I put this nicely? The all-powerful country that wields the power of the sun, and not the satellite to said unity.
Yeah, sure.
And, like, selfishly, I also like guns way too much to move to Japan.
Oh, absolutely. And
like, I would rather implement things that the Japanese do well here. Yeah. Like, I think there are legitimate lessons to learn from them because after World War II, they sat down and they listened. And they very deliberately took on sort of elements of professional culture, and in like economic approaches and economic modeling, like they've really embraced the free market whole hog. And like a lot of the things they do, they took something that existed before them and they made it better. And like their prison system is definitely something to look at.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we need to aspire to a 98% conviction rate because
that's a little human rights.
Probably not. Human rights are a fucking misnomer, but the question is, like, the way they run their prisons actually cuts down on recidivism rates. Like, it's not a pointlessly cruel experience. Like, they're not actually being waterboarded there, but at the same time, it forces people who have no structure, who've possibly had no father in the home, to develop some kind of structure, some kind of discipline. And at the same time, it's unpleasant enough that you never want to go back.
Why come we need fathers
as opposed
in the
to
home? We should have more money for them programs.
We should have no money for no programs. Get the fuck out.
Look, I'm just saying.
You get VA disability and that's
I'm just saying, dude. He a good boy. He didn't do nothing.
Ignore the surveillance video entirely, please.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, well, even outside of, like, just on this specific topic, even outside of, like, Japan, recidivism almost anywhere in the world is way lower outside of the United States. Like, the Scandinavian countries are notorious for having, like, for nonviolent offenders and stuff, their recidivism rate is nearing zero in, like, Norway and Denmark.
See, I think we can't take on their solutions, because those are like extremely tightly knit monocultures.
Yeah,
with very low populations too.
Right. But the point that I'm trying to make is that the system, the prison system in the United States, is not meant to discourage recidivism. It's meant to encourage it because it's a for-profit system. Any for-profit system is going to be like, yeah, dude, we want those customers coming back. In this case,
well, not only that, the way that the conditions inside of there are made, largely through the influence of NGOs and other do-gooders, is that it becomes a networking opportunity for people to
learn how to
become more efficient at crime. It's basically a criminal university. Same in the UK. Like, people go into prisons, especially since, the religious and cultural distribution of people disproportionately going to prison is, of a certain persuasion. And they are then part of the majority in the prison system. So they feel, yes, isolated, yes, somewhat limited, but still mostly safe amongst their own people.
Yep. It's I mean, these are always like super complex situations trying to work without, but
it's complex, and at the same time it's not. Like, let's not create a self-sustaining cycle with incentives that aren't clear, because the purpose of prison or any kind of punitive punishment is to disincentivize the person from ever doing that again, and disincentivizing anyone who's smart enough to think at least 2 steps ahead of what will happen if I'm caught. Because if you cut out the cocksucker DAs who specifically don't, and the activist judges who do not prosecute people for shit they actually do, but if they do so, they go into a prison system that's also basically a free meal ticket for them with slightly less nice living conditions. Like, you're kind of sending mixed messages there, as opposed to a Japanese approach where, like, they go very hard in the paint. Like, their society is very punitive if you break rank. You have breached the social contract that we've all agreed upon. You go to the extremely not nice place called prison. You're not going to have a jolly good time. You're definitely not going to network or make friends there, because if you talk out of turn, you're going to get the shit beat out of you. And at the same time, if you breach the social contract egregiously enough, you're just going to get fucking hanged. Which I think is a very good disincentive for certain fucking behaviors.
Oh, I agree with you completely there. There's some things, and I think we can all agree on what those things are.
There's a number of
things that just like, dude, you're getting the rope.
I mean, we can draw from the well of recent British experiences, I guess, when there was like a recent case where some, like, it wasn't even one of those more classical, like, more commonplace grooming gangs, because that's a wild fucking sentence to utter out loud. Like, but no. commonplace grooming gang. Well, oddly, predominantly Pakistani. That's besides the point. Not even the case I wanted to point out, because there are fucking outliers in those cases now. Because you'll have your run-of-the-mill grooming gangs, but then you'll also have a case of some sick fuck kidnapping, I believe, a 13-year-old or 15-year-old girl, raping her in his basement, calling his friends to come and rape her in his basement, blinding her by pouring bleach in her eyes for trying to run away, and then continuing to rape her. Like, I think there's a deeper problem here than socioeconomic factors.
I'm surprised she didn't end up in a concrete barrel, but I guess that's
that's because it's the fucking. I don't remember. I think she got out eventually, but like, okay, he got some sort of hard time. He still didn't get the noose. Which is my issue number one.
Yeah, should be getting the news. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Second of all, I don't know about you. I don't have any friends that I can call up and say, "Hey, I have a 13-year-old girl tied up in my basement. Would you like to? I'm done raping her for the night. Would you like to come around and have a go?"
Yeah, I don't think that would work. I feel like that would lead to either being arrested or being killed pretty quickly.
I'm pretty sure that if I expressed that invitation to anyone I know, they would kick my door down and kill me. Rightfully so.
Yeah, of course.
But for some reason, that individual just had like that circle of friends that he could just summon. And by the way, they didn't get prosecuted as part of that case.
Oh, Christ.
Like so a number of people who responded to an invitation to go and rape a teenage girl in a basement are just part of British society. Part and parcel of living in a big city.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you were to bitch about this, living in the UK, say on YouTube,
you're getting a knock on the door.
You're in trouble. You are in trouble.
If you, I wouldn't say like if you bitch about it in a vacuum, like saying that that's not right, that's one thing. If you continue your thought process to its logical conclusion, then you're getting a knock on the door.
Yeah. Don't ask who is doing these heinous fucking things because that's
stop noticing.
Yeah. Pattern recognition is verboten. Don't trust your lying eyes.
Exactly.
There's a great picture. It's of George Orwell's flat. I believe it's in London or something like that. And there's this it's got a plaque. It's 1984. George L. Orwell lived here, wrote the book, blah blah. That is this and that historical monument. Very important, obviously. And then there's a lamppost on the sidewalk outside of that, and there's a sign on that lamppost that says, "This is a good behavior zone. You do not do this, that, like, don't make too much noise, don't blah blah." All these different basically not like actual crimes. It's just like, what do you mean a good behavior zone? Like,
sounds like a fucking HOA rule set.
Oh God, HOAs. Oh.
Actually, that does make sense because the UK has government mandated HOAs.
Yeah, the councils.
Councils, yeah. I think I still owe council tax. A fucking good luck getting it out of me.
What are they gonna do? Extradite you? They're gonna write you a strongly worded letter.
Well, I mean, I believe they did write me a letter, but I completely ghosted them.
Yeah.
Listen, it was signed by an Indian name.
Oh.
So, as far as I know, that's probably a scam email. So, yeah.
Just if it ever comes back around, it's the same guy. Just be like, "Good morning, sir."
I'm sorry, I have neither Bob nor Vagine.
There was apparently if you get banned on Facebook or something like that, you be like, you type in your you're like, "Please unban me," or like on YouTube or whatever, your "please unban me" request and generic Indian "good morning, sir," and you'll get immediately unbanned. It's fucking hilarious.
Really?
Oh yeah,
interesting. Works. I should try that next time I get in trouble on Twitter.
Yeah, give it a shot because it should work.
I guess so. Yeah.
Elon Musk loves his Indians. He loves them H-1Bs.
Apparently he does. Yeah. He's kind of backed off of that. I think he was smart enough to let Vivek sort of carry most of the water in that particular conversation and hang himself with all of the rope in it.
Yeah.
Because he's gotten all of the blowback. Yeah. He was more prominently and longer affixed to the H-1B thing because he made the mistake of trying to pivot it out to quote-unquote culture and doing so through media literacy.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves that one.
Yeah.
Conservatives especially love that one. That's how that really plays to the base right there.
Yeah. Imagine a voter base that specifically voted to not be replaced by Mexicans is for some reason going to be happy about being replaced in higher paying jobs by Indians.
Yeah. They don't really think that far through, do they?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, see, I have taken it upon myself, and I'm hoping that someday it's going to catch on, but every time Vivek Ramaswamy makes a more or less viral post, I make sure to go into the replies and reply with, "Excellent argument, Vivek, but first eat the cheeseburger." and I post a picture of a tasty cheeseburger.
Nice.
Because I refuse to take him seriously until I see him eating the entire cheeseburger.
Right. Yeah, you don't.
Preferably with bacon.
Yeah, you can't be an American if you won't eat it. Like, unless you are deathly allergic to, like, you know.
No, then you can have a small cheeseburger and have an EpiPen handy as like your personal crucible.
I expect at least one solid bite.
Yeah,
you know?
There has to be commitment. The only substitute that I will expect is eating an entire cowboy steak.
Yeah. That works for me.
There's not even a time requirement. You can drink all you want, but you have to eat the entire thing.
It's not like that King of the Hill episode. Like,
no,
you don't have to finish it in an hour, or it's like,
this is not a competitive endeavor. It's fine. We're not going to time you.
You get extra American points if you do try to eat it, like shove your face with it real fast. But that's neither here nor there. That's not the point of the exercise.
Do we deduct points or do we add points for having barbecue glaze on the side?
Ooh.
I've recently, I've been using that sauce for like the better part of 15 years, but I'm a big fan of Jack Daniel's barbecue glaze. I don't even use it as barbecue glaze. I'll just have it in like a little sauce cup on the side, and I'll just a little dab.
I was gonna say, I mean, I'm a horseradish guy. I'm having horseradish on the side. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
That also works.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that's okay. You know what? Definitively, I think it is your right as an American to have the freedoms to choose if you want to put sauces on your steak.
Yeah, that's true. That's going to be a test of whether or not you have the gumption to choose for yourself. Yeah. If you have the spirit of the free man about you.
Yeah, look. Motherfucker wants to have ketchup on the side for their steak. You know what? That's that.
Let's not.
Hey, look.
Let's slow the fuck down.
Hey, look. Part of being American is having the right to do degenerate bullshit, as long as it's not hurting anybody else.
Okay, fine. I will concede the point. Although it irks me to.
You wouldn't catch my ass doing that, but I'm just saying, if somebody wanted to, you know what? Hey, do you?
To be fair, it depends on the steak. Sometimes, like if it's far gone, if it's like not something that you really get to choose, and the ketchup helps it go down. You got to hit your macros, then do whatever, man. Yeah. Like you do you.
Because like I've had some fucking dire ass dry steaks where it was, and that's the only thing I had, and it was like, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not casting aspersions in that particular scenario. But if you go out of your fucking way to pay like $100 for a Wagyu ribeye, if I see you fucking putting ketchup on that, I'm breaking both of your arms in every fucking joint I find.
It's just oh man, dude. Respect the cow. Respect that cow.
Yeah.
Not like in the Indian way. Like you're still gonna eat it. You're not but not like its poop.
In an American way.
Yeah, you're not drinking its piss.
Yeah. Like our cows are also cooler because they're all fucking roided out of their minds.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, their cows are all emaciated and shit.
Yeah. Even our cows are better.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. That's why the Indians are all like fucking emaciated and they can like. That's why they're so good at turning themselves into human pretzels. Is because there's no meat there. There's nothing to get stuck in the way.
Wait, human pretzels?
Yeah, dude.
The yogis.
Yeah, the guy that can like twist his fucking dick and balls around like, and like he could do like the fucking Tony Hawk at the X Games, dude. It goes around 900 degrees.
I don't think that's a universal skill. I think that's still like a very narrow professional field.
I'm trying to figure out like what possessed that guy. I was like, okay, so this guy can put like both his feet behind his head and like walk on his hands. Like that's cool. Like this other dude, like he can like stand on his head for like well, this guy grows his nails, like he put his hand in the air and never put it back down for like 30 years. Like what is my yoga specialty? I know I'm gonna twist my dick and balls around a bunch of times.
Well, see, for them, it's all variants of expression of mind over matter, essentially. Like it's a Hinduistic pursuit that, to some extent, bled over into Buddhism and Chan Buddhism. in sort of subduing, like developing your will and your detachment from the material suffering filled plane to the extent where you can bend matter at will in sort of silly little adaptations like that.
Yeah, bend your dick at will. Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to see them get into dick flattening. You know, that's the new shit right there, dude.
I think it needs to be flat to a certain extent to bend it the way they do.
Yeah, more than likely. I also love.
Yeah.
Have you ever sat there and just watched like the Indians taking selfies at train tracks videos?
Yes, I do. Dude. See, that's the thing. That's the thing that I thought of first when you said human pretzels. Like my mind instantly went to the most morbid fucking thing I've ever seen out of India, and there's a lot.
Dude, okay. So check this out. So you know the concept of the juggernaut, right?
You mean like the thing that they throw themselves under ritualistically because if they die being crushed by it, they get good karma and they can respawn with better RNG.
Yeah, it's like a church on wheels basically, and they like parade and then like they'd throw like their children underneath and shit like that. And when the British showed up and they were like, "What the fuck, dude?" Like it's the same with like the Spanish when they like made it to the Americas. They were like, like, "Oh, you guys are doing like a ritual for the sun god. That's cool. Can we watch?" They're like, "Yeah, of course." And it's like, "Hey,"
and then they rip the guy's heart out and like, eat it while it's still beating.
Yeah, it's like, "Hey, here's this fucking 12-year-old girl. We're gonna fucking rip her heart out while she's still alive and eat it and make her watch." And the Spanish were like, "What, dude?" What?
And the Spanish were like, "Miss Cusi," but the human sacrifices will stop.
Yeah, it's like, no, y'all motherfuckers need Jesus. And it's the same thing with the Brits. They were like, "No, dude, you guys really cannot be throwing your children under the cart.
Can you fucking stop, please?"
And then all of a sudden, the Brits built all these railways, and the Indians were like, "Hey, doesn't that remind you of something?" Like, what? I forget what it was called, but it was like there was a big fucking thing, and you just sort of like get crushed by it. And
see, I think you're ascribing intent to a place that to a phenomenon that can simply be explained by not having any kind of even second order thinking.
It's baked into their DNA at this point. It's just
no.
It's just
Listen,
like,
you're violating Occam's razor. The simplest assumption. The correct
well,
one.
The simplest assumption is that they're like the country has an average IQ of like 76.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
They just don't they don't have high enough IQ to understand like spatial sense. They don't realize the train is wider than the gauge of the tracks.
Yeah. It's basically if Reddit was a country.
Yeah. Oh God. Wait. Well, no. Reddit is a country. It's called fucking Canada.
No, it's not. It's not. It's Seattle.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I'd say Reddit's about Seattle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very Seattle, very much so. Yeah. So here's the thing. I repatriated to the States relatively recently, a few years back. Mm-hmm. And that was like it was in peak COVID. So like people were still masking up in certain places, but I live in Texas. Nobody gave a fuck.
Nobody gave a fuck here in Arizona either.
Yeah. So and I was watching like most of my exposure to the US at that time was through YouTube, and I was like looking at sort of conservative talking heads pointing at places like Seattle saying like, "Oh, it's like this fucking lib shithole with like junkies in the street and like rampant theft and whatnot." And I'm like, this can't be fucking real. I mean, these people are obviously just going very hard in the paint. This is all fucking propaganda. It can't. I get that libtards are insufferable, but it can't be that bad.
Yeah.
And then I went to Seattle because I was attending I think PAX West or something. I'm like, holy fuck! People are just freebasing fucking crack in the middle of the street on Main Street with the cops just driving past them without even reacting to it.
Yeah.
I saw someone fucking shooting up heroin in their parked car in broad fucking daylight.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's Seattle's bad. Well, San Francisco's bad too. Like, so where I lived in San Francisco is a.
But let me cut you off there real quick. San Francisco doesn't have Fort Knox style reinforced Target stores because Seattle fucking has those.
It did get them.
It did get
Oh,
them?
it did.
Because that's the first place where I've seen a Target store that looked like that. Everything was on lockdown. There was not a single item that's just freely available.
Yeah.
And like the outer gallery glass is like 3 inches thick bulletproof glass with armed security inside.
Yeah.
And it was fucking wild to see compared to a Target in Texas.
Yeah.
Even in Austin, Texas, it's just a regular fucking convenience store. You just go in, you take the shit you need, you buy and you leave. Well, I don't think we have a single item that's in a strong box in the entire Target we have here.
Mm-hmm. It's Seattle.
Well, okay,
Portland.
maybe some of the electronics. Never mind. Like an Xbox controller is going to be in a strong box.
The electronics section, like high value items, are almost always locked. Like laptop computers, stuff like that.
Laptop computers, Xboxes, controllers, and that's about fucking
pretty much
like,
it. Yeah.
Cell phone chargers, power banks, headphones, all of that is just freely dangling on the stands.
Yeah. Well, it's like, okay, so here, where I live is just a really sleepy little mountain town in nowhere, Arizona. Mm-hmm. And like you go to like where I buy my beer, the gas station liquor store where I buy my beer, they just got like phone chargers and extra cables and sunglass, like everything's just like, it's right there, it's at the door. It's literally when you walk in, there's just like, hey, there's a big old one of those little spinny racks of like sunglasses, hats, and it's like a minuscule Buc-ee's.
Yeah,
but
essentially,
But I lived in the Tenderloin when I lived in San Francisco, and I don't know if you're familiar with like the neighborhoods of San Francisco at all.
I don't really know them because I've been to San Francisco like 3 times, and usually I try to pop in and out to things that I need to do and people I need to see. Like the only thing worse than San Francisco is fucking LA.
Yeah. At least in San Francisco, it's easy to get around.
Like, of all the fucking, I exclusively Uber. Fuck that. Like, I'm not entertaining, anything. Sorry, I can't have my gun on me. I am Ubering.
Yeah, no, that's like having, like, I have family in the Los Angeles metropolitan area, and so I go there I haven't been there in a while, but, every time I did, I'm like, I fucking hate driving in LA. I'm like, I'm not coming down anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm like, unless you're gonna fucking, like, pick me up and drop me off at the airport at LAX, I'm not fucking doing it. Like,
nah, come to real America.
Yeah, it's like, you can come over here. So everybody does. But long story short, the Tenderloin is like the really, like, the shittiest neighborhood in San Francisco. It's where all the junkies are. Okay. Like, if you can look it up on YouTube. It's an open air drug market. And even back in like,
how is that different from the rest of San Fran?
Well, I mean, if you go to like Japantown, it's really nice. Like, Polk is nice.
You know what about Japantown? I've been to San Francisco, Japantown.
It's basically just a mall.
Yeah. I know that it's a mall. I've been pre-pandemic, but here's the thing: in Seattle, what's the nice neighborhood?
What's that?
The Chinese neighborhood.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Because they beat the fucking bums with sticks. Like, no, you're not having a camp here. They're having none of that shit.
They went with the Singapore model.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, gotta love Singapore, dude.
Singapore fucking rocks.
Singapore is fucking cool. It's like, did you just spit your gum out on the street? 10 lashes with the cane.
Yeah, resist arrest, 50 more.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Love it.
Hey, it works. It turns out, like, you can go one way hard or the other way hard. You can go Singapore or you can go Norway, but you can't do all that in between bullshit.
Well, you can do in between, but you need to correct for certain differences that you have in the population.
Right.
Like, here's the thing: Norway doesn't just ignore crime.
No, it doesn't. There are normal prisons in Norway, like what we think of as prisons too. But like, yeah, for like non-violent offenders, it's like, look, let's fucking get you to stop this, please.
Yeah, non-criminal, like non-violent offenders, I'm perfectly fine. Let's go down a rehabilitative route. Mm-hmm. But if you beat an elderly person for their purse,
Yeah.
I think you need the book thrown at you,
Yeah.
like before
Sure.
you get up to something worse. Like, I'm sorry, this is the point where you need some hard correction, and that correction is going to come in the only form that you obviously understand, and that is a boot up your ass.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, corrective justice, criminal justice, whatever the fuck you want to call it, only works when there's justice involved. And I am sorry, but an important component of justice is punishment.
Yeah.
There has to be actual punishment for things you do. The problem with the criminal justice system in the US is that repeat offenders just get cut loose into the fucking population, either because, you know, he's just a good boy who didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Or they get found incompetent to stand trial, which is a mind-blowing concept to me. I'm sorry. You are too retarded to exist in society,
Yep.
so we're just going to cut you loose.
Yeah, we're just gonna let you do it again, I guess. Maybe, probably. We're gonna hope not. Yeah. Well, I think part of it too is that, and we don't have fucking mental invalid homes anymore, right? We don't.
I'm sorry. The prisons work just as fine. I'm sorry. I fail to see the distinction.
Well, I feel like somebody who's like, you know, like you've seen like the kind of people you would expect to see in like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest that need to be perpetually medicated and shit like that. Like have a set of places for them, right?
Assign a guardian and have them be responsible for them. Just pick a next of kin and that's it. Like he's your problem now.
Well, I mean, if you can make it to where the next of kin's allowed to fucking put one in their skull if it need be.
Sure.
Okay, well then fair. I agree. We're on the same page.
Yeah, that's all fair. Listen, just don't make him other people's problem. He's your problem.
Yeah.
How you solve it, that's up to you.
Yeah. Be like, oh, you're 350 pounds like juggernaut autistic son. You can put him down if you want. Like,
to be fair, I don't see someone like that being an active threat to society because he would struggle with a flight of stairs.
Oh, dude, have you ever seen like the real like autistic tartar rage ones like that? Like a hello, Louie. And they start like
no, I don't believe I have.
Oh, dude, there's a Louis Theroux documentary, and normally I find him insufferable, but like some of his older stuff is great. And there's one where he's like,
I like Louis Theroux,
where he's like he's like dealing with these like the hyper autistics where they're like completely non-functional and mostly like non-verbal.
Okay.
They just screech, they're like, and they punch holes in walls and they beat up their parents and shit. And it's like this kid is like 12, right? Like 12 max,
Okay.
and he's like 250 pounds. Solid slab of beef, and he's like his mom is like trying her best to restrain him as he's having his little tard fit rage, just flailing around.
Hear me out. I think that people are going all wrong about this. This man was born to be a berserker on the field of battle. Since that is no longer available, I will pitch you the next best thing.
Okay.
It's called college football.
Yeah, well, yeah. The problem is he can't wear clothes because he's too like his fucking retard rage. It is too like it's uncontrollable if he's wearing
Listen,
clothes.
occlusion is going to kick in eventually. Just trank him down, strap him down with a set of uniform, or at least the armor, the protective gear.
Just the fucking, just the fucking chest protector and a helmet and fucking.
Yeah. Give him like show him like his favorite box of Lucky Charms. Like condition him to bring the ball to the box of Lucky Charms, and then he gets his treat, and he's going to be fucking unstoppable. He's gonna fucking eviscerate the fucking major league football teams.
Promise him a bag of Skittles when if he gets to the end zone. Just
Yeah.
just all you gotta do is take the brown egg and just run all until we tell you to stop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Give him simple to understand instructions and give him a reward structure that is capable of engaging with, and there you go. You'll have a pathway to success, and he'll be able to pay for his own at-home accommodations. He's going to be more tuckered out at the end of the day, so he's going to have less energy left for the tard rage.
You gotta let him run around till he starts to get sleepy. Then you put on Bluey, and you know. Bluey and a couple hot dogs.
He just mangles 5 grown men and gets tired and goes to sleep.
Dude,
you gotta direct that tard rage into a productive direction.
Oh, dude, get him into HEMA.
Or that. Yeah, sure.
Dude.
Give him a big stick to hit someone
dude.
with.
Oh, can you imagine if they put HEMA in the Special Olympics, dude? Can you imagine like fucking like wheelchair jousting? Dude, I would watch Berserker Tard fucking 6v6 fucking melee combat. I would watch wheelchair jousting so hard, dude. I'd pay for a subscription service for that shit, dude. Fucking, my ass ain't paying for Netflix or Disney Plus, but I'll fucking give a bunch of tards fucking maces and fucking battle axes and let them loose. I'll be there every day, dude. I'll buy fucking merch, dude. I'm showing up with fucking vuvuzelas and fucking I'm doing chants like those fat English dudes do at soccer games, bro.
You'll study up on like the specific triggers of the ones competing today. You bet money and then you make sure to send them into a flying tard race.
Dude, I'm doing fucking Moneyball strats, dude. I got all their statistics down in a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, dude. I'm going to the sports book.
Yeah.
I'm going to
this fat one with the flail sees red whenever he hears a fucking woozla go off.
Number 3, Gareth, Gareth for the fucking New Mexico team. He fucking loves mudkips, bro. I'm gonna bring one. It's gonna distract him, dude. We fucking win the under.
See, yeah, that's a pay-per-view that I can get behind.
Dude. Hell yeah.
Oh, if only the Olympics were even a fraction of being that based.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
I want to see more fucking contact sports at the Special Olympics. I want to see Taibo.
Taibo is not a contact sport, though.
Yeah, but it's actually just the way people with Down syndrome say typo.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I think we need to start with just examining what the fuck the Olympics are and if there's even a purpose to them at this point.
No.
Outside of earning money for like a very narrow circle of extremely corrupt fuckwits who do so at the expense of actually damaging the sports that are featured in the Olympics.
Oh man, dude, fucking breakdancing at the Olympics, dude? Is that what you're getting at?
No.
You're not talking about Ray Gun?
My biggest No. I'm not talking about Ray Gun. Fuck her in particular. Listen, she got her bag by basically taking over a legitimate breakdancing organization, and now she's copyright striking anyone who uses the footage of her spurging out on the dance field.
Good, dude.
Breakdancing was never a serious sport, and like I'm gonna leave y'all to figure that one out like internally. No, my biggest gripe is the damage that was done to karate's reputation and to judo as a sport.
Oh yeah,
because well, you see, like the basis of a bulk of my training and my grappling training specifically is pre-Olympic judo. Basically, I'm trained in what's referred to as traditional jiu-jitsu, so like less stupid rules and more eye gouging.
Yeah, functional martial art, not sport martial art.
Yes, and like judo is a functional martial art,
sure.
But the problem is they've cut out a lot of the meat out of it in the pursuit of I don't know what the fuck, because it's definitely not safety. Like I get certain concessions to safety, like for example, like the scissor throw being illegal in judo. Okay, fine, that makes sense because that's just not a throw that you can have in a competitive environment with lots of reps.
Yeah.
Because someone is going to get hurt, and people did get badly hurt.
Yeah.
Like that, I'm sorry, you're walking with a limp forever after that one if you don't ukemi correctly.
Yeah, we don't want the sport to actively put people out if we're doing it for specifically for sport. Yeah.
Yes, there is an understanding that because this is a sport with a large unvetted pool of participants and you have high volumes and highly competitive environments, you need to work around health preservation practices. Yeah. That is fine. That is what makes judo better than Brazilian jiu-jitsu. However, there are artificial and dumb fucking limitations that are artificially imposed on judo by needing to make it a spectator sport for the purpose of the Olympics, such as removing leg picks entirely. Under Olympic rules, you're not allowed to grab anything below the belt. And that's a significant amount of techniques. You're not allowed to fight and maintain your grips without going for a technique. But I'm sorry, positional fighting is a big stamina drain and a very important thing to know how to do, especially in a context where striking is not an element that's present in your rule set. Yeah. And there's a shit ton of these stupid fucking limitations. Like, for example, I can't impinge wrists. Why?
Yeah, wrist locks are incredibly important.
Well, maybe okay, fine. Wrist locks in particular, there's probably an injury prevention angle as well, because like a lot of repetition, the wrist is not a joint that benefits from being taken outside of its natural range. But the leg picks, that's fucking stupid. Yep. And I like to see the fact that All Japan Judo Federation recently said, you know what? Fuck you guys. We're just going to do leg picks, and you can cry about it. But sort of to a larger point that I was making, like, karate embarrassed itself because it tried to be an Olympic sport in the Olympics.
Right. Yeah.
It did not police conduct the same way you would in a traditional competition. It took a rule set for European and children's competitions, which, like, it severely punishes any kind of excessive contact and whatnot. Like, it's very sterile, very sportified, very gamified. And because of that, you got the situation that you got in the grand final, where a guy basically flies into a random roundhouse kick, knocks himself out, wins by elimination.
That's
stupid.
That's exceptionally stupid.
Yeah, because the other guy was judged like as having used excessive contact and knocked the guy out completely cold, when in reality he just threw a mid check, and the guy was lunging in for a punch, and he caught the mid check with his face and knocked himself out. And that's like a problem with specifically European point karate rules. Yeah, because, for example, in Japanese rules, if that was to happen, at most the other guy would have gotten a warning, if anything. Yeah. He would have gotten a point for it. Mm-hmm. The other guy would have been left to sort of walk it off. They would have stood him up. They would have checked him if he's fine. Yeah. They would have either postponed the fight as a non-decision, or just, check to see whether or not if he can continue the fight right there and then, under old Japanese rules. Yeah. Because if you look at old footage of old point karate, those are some mean motherfuckers. Oh, yeah. Yes, the format of executing one scoring hit and ending the bout is like stupid for a competitive environment. It's a fine training modality, but they managed to do it without being pussies. Yeah. Which is something that the Olympics are just wholly incapable of doing.
One of those things that's like kind of always wigs me out about the Olympics too is that like it carries itself so seriously despite fucking up half the shit that it's supposed to do right. And then there are people who like actually put like serious mental energy into paying attention to the Olympics.
I don't get it.
And I don't understand why. They're like, oh, fuck, dude, fucking, so your country has less medals in the Olympics. And it's like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, it's an amateur competition in sports that nobody cares about. Yeah.
It's like, bro.
Like collegial rules boxing. Oh, that's a fascinating fucking sport, especially since your entire bracket of people is people who are not good enough at the sport to just, card in a real boxing federation.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, dude, they don't even have fucking baseball at the fucking Olympics. You know how many countries play baseball?
2.
No, Japan, Korea, the Netherlands,
Okay,
the
that's
United
3.
States, everything in fucking Central and South America. So that's like,
Really?
oh yeah, dude, fucking like Cuba, the Dominican Republic. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
I was not aware
Oh
of that.
yeah, dude. Like if you go look at like the major leagues, like Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Honduras,
But
Nicaragua.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The problem with the Olympics is that the Olympics specifically prohibit the athletes that compete in given disciplines to from earning a living in those disciplines that they compete in, because they market themselves as an amateur competition.
Yeah.
So, like, what would even be the point of bringing baseball into the Olympics if you can just have your World Series of like normal fucking baseball governed by the Major Baseball League or whatever the fuck else?
Yeah, they got the World Baseball Classic that they do.
Major League Baseball or whatever.
Yeah, the World Baseball Classic happens like every 4 years. It's basically the Olympics of baseball. Like every country that wants to be represented sends a team, and then they do a tournament that way.
And it's not going to come with, for example, like the organizing or governing body pocketing most of the advertising money for the event while having the athletes live in fucking glorified quarters.
Yeah.
Which is frequently the case.
Oh yeah.
With the Olympics.
Yeah.
The Olympian villages are rarely a nice place to be. I think the only exception was that one time, or the 2 times, where the Olympics were held in third world shithole countries that don't have anything to be proud of, so they overcompensated with how nice the Olympics were. China and Russia.
Yeah. I know that the Olympic Village is basically just an excuse for the athletes to fuck each other. That's like,
oh no, who would have thought?
Who would have guessed?
You put a shit ton of young, highly physically active people of both sexes and they're going to fuck. Who would have thought?
Who would have guessed that would happen?
Yeah.
No.
It's almost as if that never happens with every swim camp, every fucking gymnastics camp, and with every band camp.
Oh, yeah. All the time. God, that'd be weird. I don't even give a fuck about the Olympics, but I'd like to just be like, I don't know, like a reporter or something, just to be like, dude, look, how degenerate are they really? You know, like what kind of weird shit are they getting into?
I don't think they're getting into weird shit. I think so a lot of these athletes are also overtrained out of their mind. A lot of them train for the Olympics. I don't know why they train for the Olympics. I guess because they're not good enough for, the actual professional side of the sport.
Well,
but like they're not happy people, and in that environment, I guess the best they have in terms of leisure is just fucking, because everything else will potentially risk them pissing hot on a WADA test.
True.
So like, what the fuck else are you going to do?
I know, especially in some poor ass shithole country you don't even want to be at in the first place.
Yeah. Like if your options are be bored and fuck inside of the Olympic Village or go outside and be mugged.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna stay in the village and you're gonna fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the I just imagine some like mustachioed like old Italian man coach for like the, I don't know, like the balance beam or whatever. He's like, you stay in the fucking village and you take dick. You do not leave the fucking village.
You joke about that, but that was the know-how of the German biathlon team for the longest time.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No. So what happened was people started noticing that I believe it was before the Berlin Wall came down. If I may have my chronology mixed up a little bit, but basically they noticed that the women's biathlon team specifically started just fucking smoking the competition, just leaving everybody in the fucking dust, and nobody could understand why. But they've noticed that the team has had a contingent of very large, muscular men who are definitely not competitors traveling with the national team. And they were booked under being masseuses. in reality, their job was to fuck the athletes to half to death a few days out from the competition, and then let them recover. And apparently that was the trick. That was the magic bullet.
That's the technique, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a pretty good gig.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good job. You could do worse. You could do worse. You could work at one of those places that has a human resources department or some fucking bullshit like that. Fucking the only chicks you might be able to pull at your job is the fucking old fat bitches in human resources.
Well, I mean, in most office jobs, the only pick of the litter that you get is the generalized HR hag, just because they've self-replicated in the workforce.
Yeah,
they're all slightly over fat, odd hair color, absolutely fucking flat zero encephalogram personality.
They really love like doing TikToks in the office. Yeah, I'm so glad the last time I worked in an office was before fucking TikTok, dude. I would.
They think that emotional intelligence. They think that emotional intelligence is more important than actual intelligence.
Oh, yeah. It's like every
like those types.
You have to celebrate everybody's fucking birthday. It's like, I'm here to do a job. Leave me alone.
You have to celebrate everything. Everybody's fucking everything.
Yeah. Potlucks and shit, and it's like, no, I'm going to eat my fucking microwave burrito on my own. Thank you.
There's like a very specific culture of female-driven workplaces where you have to care about the irrelevant fucking minutia of things that are happening to them,
right?
As opposed to the male workplace where people go to work, do work, maybe socialize over the lunch break, and do so by discussing cool shit like guns and cars and like video games.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I do not want to see pictures of your fucking of your nephew's fucking church choir recital. I really don't, lady.
Yeah. I really don't care that your sister, again, doesn't know who the father of her child is.
As long as that motherfucker ain't me, I don't care. This is fucking none of my fucking business.
That's a fair caveat, yeah.
And if it is me, I'm getting a different job.
Plausible deniability sustained. Yeah, so I guess in our current situation, we just need to watch. I guess just watching is probably not good enough. We need to reasonably contribute to things getting slowly better. Because last time I checked Twitter, Pride Month is fucking canceled.
Yeah, which is great because as a June birthday boy, dude, I'm fucking I'm fucking pissed. Yeah, dude. Later this month, I'm pissed about it, dude. Like nobody
you get the gay month.
And it's also Men's Mental Health Month, which is like, oh yeah, no, you made it double.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, but you made it double gay, dude. You're not supposed to like. Look, just drink your fucking, like, if you have mental health problems as a dude, just like fuck a prostitute or like get drunk. Like it worked for our dads.
Okay, wait. Okay, listen. There are better coping strategies. I think it's important to put those out there. What's not helpful is trying to engage in like this female pattern pathologizing.
Yeah, don't find like therapy.
Forcing. Yeah. Don't force people to verbalize their demons because newsflash, that actually doesn't make it any better. You're supposed to work through the shit that's weighing you down. You're supposed to think of practical solutions that can tangibly make things better, or in an absence of options available in that particular area, you lift the heavy thing until the sad voices go away, and then you put the heavy thing down. Mm-hmm. And these are all tactics that are part of, supporting male mental health. And I think it's good to have messaging about that in a particular month. Like, I find that generally inoffensive.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's just the way they go about. Like, it's a good thing. It's just the way it's packaged as gay.
There are different ways to package
Yeah,
it.
and it's like, you know what? Part of the problem is they don't have male-only spaces anymore.
Yeah, that's a big
Like,
one.
it used to-
Male-only spaces do wonders for male mental health. Who would have thought?
Yeah, it's like it turns out when you don't have to worry about a bitch fucking anywhere near you, you can talk to the dudes, and the dudes will give you good life advice. And if there is no good life advice to be given, or a good ear, to that kind of thing, and you're just being a little bitch, they'll let you know that no, dude, you're just actually being a little bitch.
It's not just the life advice. I think it's also valuable to have these spaces that are isolated from the pressures of reproductive competition.
That too, yeah,
Because,
that's true too.
Like
Yeah,
whenever
sure.
women are even hypothetically injected into any social activity, like even if you don't want any, unfortunately, the social dynamic driven by everyone the fuck else
Yep.
is going to structure itself around fucking the available women. And they're going to do that at the expense of you enjoying your time there that you would have had otherwise. That's why if I ever get around to actually building my own, I wouldn't say dojo, like more of like a high-end, high-class gym, I'm going to have a policy of we hand vet all applicants. Like it's a very expensive, very high-end establishment.
Sure, members only sort of
But
situation.
like internally, my rule number one is no women and children.
Yeah. I don't need none of that.
Yeah.
More trouble than it's worth.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, well, hey, look. Thank God it's the game month is canceled. So I got June back.
Well, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Let's make sure to solidify these gains.
Yeah. I know. At some point they'll try again. But
they're going to be trying again all of the time. Yeah. See, unfortunately, any kind of permanent solution to that particular problem is mostly illegal and still frowned upon.
Yeah. Well, I always thought there was like like because I have like gay friends and shit, and trans friends and shit,
same.
And it's like goofing around and stuff, and there's always like that saying, you see it all the time, it's like be gay and do crimes, and it's like, bro, fucking we had it set up to where being gay was a crime and you guys weren't fucking happy about that, and it's like we gave you what you wanted, and then you decided no, not that kind of crime.
I don't really have a big input on that. I just try to hang around with people and I focus on discussing interesting things, not where they want to stick their dick or where they want a dick stuck into them.
Nobody likes that shit. It's annoying.
Yeah. It's probably the most cringe version of making one thing your entire personality.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to do that, at least do that with like smoking meat or cooking barbecue.
Yeah, get something tangible out of it.
Yeah, make it a skill.
Yeah. Be the guy that's really obsessed with like home forging knives.
That's actually fucking cool.
Yeah, that shit's cool as fuck. I know a guy that does that. He's cool as hell. Yeah.
There you go.
He does not have any personality to speak of, but like if you want to talk to him about making knives, he's making knives, drinking beer.
Yeah, that's perfectly. Those are fine hobbies to entertain.
Except for like, golf guys are kind of like weird about it though. Not like the not like the old dude golf guys where it's like, because like they still want to be physically active, but they can't like they're not getting around super good. So like low impact because it's it's golf. It's you get some walking around. You swing the club. You get out in the sun.
I don't know. I hurt myself every time I try to play golf.
How did you manage to hurt yourself playing golf?
Well, you see, I adhere to the principle of applying retard strength to anything I do.
Got you. Okay. No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And then I swing the heavy club to throw the ball very, very far, and like the inertia of having a weight on a length of stick spinning, circularly around me just throws it.
Throw your back
it
out.
torques my fucking Yeah, it torques my back
Yeah,
out.
yeah. That's why you're not supposed to do that. That's like the
I know,
that's like the
but it's boring.
it's like the first thing they teach you is like you don't want to throw your back out by swinging as hard as you possibly can. Like,
But it's fuck. But it's more boring than watching paint dry if I don't do that. Like at the very least, like give me something to oonga boonga about.
well, see if you want to do that, go to the batting cages.
Yeah, that makes sense. I really want to go to a batting
love the
cage.
batting
I don't think
cages.
we don't have a single fucking batting cage.
Oh, there's got to be a batting cage near you.
I don't know. Maybe my mistake is looking for the Japanese ones because I know that there's a round one in Dallas, I think.
I was gonna say I'm doing a cursory search here because yep. Found one.
I'm very susceptible to thing Japan, so that's why I specifically want the batting experience of a Japanese arcade.
I mean, yeah, but like you're not gonna get batting cages at a Japanese arcade.
Yes, you will.
You think so? I don't know.
My brother in Christ, you've played Yakuza. What
Yeah,
the fuck
but
are
okay,
you
so
on?
in Japan, yeah.
No. Round one has batting cages. That's part of their business model.
Oh, I've never seen a round one in real life. Yeah. So,
I've seen one from the outside. I've never been inside.
oh, there you go. I mean, look, they got claw. I'm sure they got claw machines.
They do, yeah. Their business model is claw machines, batting cages, bowling alleys, and I think general interest arcade machines.
Yeah, I'm sure they got like skee ball and the basketball machine.
Not sure about those. I think those are like core. Those are America core.
Man, they don't like skee ball in Japan. Damn,
I don't
dude.
know. I'm not going to.
skee-ball.
I'm not going to say they don't have that. I'm sticking to I don't know. Like every time I'm in Japan, I just never make it to get around to doing that particular slice of the. I'm not going to say lowest common denominator. Just modern entertainment.
Yeah.
Like I dedicate most of my time to either dojo hopping or temple hopping.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that those things are bad. It's just that there's only so much time and so much bandwidth I have.
Sure, you gotta.
It's like this. It's the same reason I've never been inside of a Japanese McDonald's. It's because, like, on any given street and any given time, I have 5 other food choices that are just as good or better and are also more authentic. I can get my mukslapa every time I'm back in the States or in a different country.
Yeah.
When I'm in Japan, I want my fast food to be fucking ramen.
Yeah. Although, as far as I understand, Japanese McDonald's, whole nother level.
Probably. It's still fucking mukslapa.
Oh, yeah.
And like if I only have so many times throughout the day that I'm going to eat.
Yeah.
I would rather go for something authentic rather than slop Japan.
Yeah. You did, like I genuinely doubt that the double cheeseburger is gonna be any different.
It's probably going to be better than the American one, just because the European double cheeseburgers are better.
Yeah.
For some reason, McDonald's in America is just catering to the
it's shit.
lowest cohort of fast food.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do that in Europe. Probably because it doesn't want to compete with the real burger places that you have in America.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Like it doesn't want to compete with Whataburger and Pete Terry's over making burgers because that's not sustainable for their supply chain.
Oh yeah.
But Whataburger and Pete Terry's can't scale like McDonald's.
Yeah. It's like the same with like In-N-Out or like Culver's, right? Like
Yeah.
same thing. Like in order to keep that quality up, they are by nature smaller organizations because they work with certain specific distributors that can assure the level of quality that they hope to sustain.
So McDonald's technically does that as well. They have approved suppliers.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing is that they're striking a balance between streamlining that at the scale of a proper national chain where it needs to be consistent regardless of whether you're getting McDonald's in Hawaii or you're getting it in Florida.
Right.
And then you sort of need to, and you also need to keep your costs low, because I think their competitive angle is also just undercutting more expensive competition. And if you limit your costs, then that sort of puts understood limitations on the basic quality of whatever you're using in order to produce the McSloppa. By the way, I've recently noticed that the chicken nuggets have gotten smaller by at least 30%.
Damn.
Yeah.
They're even skimping out on the nuggies, dude.
They're skimping out like a motherfucker.
See, that's some bullshit.
I found old nutritional information charts, and a single nugget is supposed to be something like 18 or 19 grams, and it's 13.
Oh,
like
wow.
the actual nugget that I get like in my little box of nuggets.
Yeah. So they cut it. They cut it by like a quarter, basically quarter to a third.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're more
There's
expensive.
like physically less meat in the nugget. They're not more expensive. It's the exact same price. But it's that like hidden inflation, because apparently people were resistant to raising prices across, the last 4 years that we've had galloping inflation. It's almost as if there was a push to try to not let the consumer price index run rampant to show the real extent of our currency being devalued.
Yeah. Oh, would you look at that?
Yeah. What a coinky dink.
It's crazy that something like that would happen.
Yeah. Your Ziploc bags didn't suddenly get thinner between 2020 and 2023. You're imagining things, and gaslighting isn't real.
Yeah. It's like one of those things that there's this old lady where I go and buy my beer. She always works the morning shift, and being an alcoholic, I get my booze at like 6 to 7 in the morning. I have to refuel early and often. And so I go in there, and she always complains about the bags, because I'll buy like, some other crap while I'm there, maybe a candy bar or Gatorade or, something like that too, Okay. And you get the bags and blah blah. And she goes, they made them thinner, and now I have to use 2. And now, which is the 2 of these bags is the thickness of the bags the way they were before. So I'm still using the same amount of bag. It just takes twice as fucking long to bag it. And I'm like, this lady's like gotta be like 75, something like that. But it's just hilarious. It's like every time I go in there, she complains about it. It's the funniest.
She still remembers when you could order a full auto SMG through your Sears catalog delivered to your door.
Oh, I bet, and she kind of feels like the type that would too. Like,
so I fucking would.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. If I could have guns shipped directly to my door, oh my god, I never have to go anywhere. Like then.
I mean, I like to touch and play around with whatever I'm paying top dollar for,
sure.
but again, I would at the very least like guns as nice as the ones I paid for the Taliban to have.
Oh sure.
I think that's a consistent standard that I'm sticking to.
I think that's perfectly reasonable as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Like a nice and shiny little Select Fire Mark 18 from Daniel Defense.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. I want one of those. The Karachi fucking made with a dude not wearing shoes AKs. That like some Soviet dude died holding.
See, I have a big bone to pick with AKs just in general, fuck it, with Soviet surplus as a whole.
Yeah.
The only exception maybe being the Dragunov rifle. If we accept the premise that it's not actually a sniper rifle, it's a DMR because it shoots an intermediate cartridge and it can't reach the sniper rifle distances and doesn't have consistent accuracy at those ranges. Yeah. But I fucking hate the AK platform. I hate it with a fucking passion. The AK platform is made or rather patronized, at least in the States, exclusively by hipsters and fucking LARPing communists.
Oh, of course.
And that's it.
Of course. But I just want one that was actually used in, like, you know, by the Soviets in Afghanistan, just because, like, as a history piece.
As a history piece, sure, but it's still a shit
Oh
gun.
no,
Like,
I'm not saying it's not a shit gun. I wouldn't ever, like, really seriously want one, you know, like.
I'll go for a PSA AK. You know what? For like a proper American made AK, I can work with that. Because it'll make the irony of the AK only becoming a non-shit gun once it came to a country with a free market and civilian gun ownership.
Yeah.
Just, it makes it so much more palatable. I like to drive that particular point very, very deeply.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the irony's on
we made the AK great because it was completely shit before we took it on.
Yeah. It's, you know, sometimes it takes some good old red, white, and blue.
Yeah, and even then it's still mid.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm you know, I got my ARs. I'm a happy boy. I ain't complaining.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I also want to get like a Henry lever action really bad.
Lever actions do go hard. Very impractical.
Oh,
very
yeah,
cool.
but it's completely because I just find them cool.
Yeah. Listen, you do you. Like, go off king.
Yeah.
You want a lever action? Get yourself a lever action.
Yeah. I want like a
bubba it out for a
I want like the mare's leg with, like, not like the blued, but like with like the shiny brass. And I want to, like, so I can do the whole, like, spin it around to reload thing. It's like to load the next round, you know, the old cowboy whip fucking.
Yeah.
Like, just for that. No other reason. Super impractical, complete waste of money.
That's completely valid.
Yeah. It's legitimately just because, like, the little boy in me was like, I want a cowboy gun. You know?
Yeah. That's the same reason I want Smith & Wesson 500.
Yep.
Completely impractical gun and an impractical caliber. Yep. But it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Same with like a golden tiger stripe 50 Action Express Desert Eagle. It's just a cool gun to have. Completely impractical. Shit at absolutely everything it tries to do.
God, I hate the Deagle.
It's a shit gun, but boy, is it cool to own.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I would not, like, if somebody was like, hey, I've got this Jericho that I'm, you know, on the cheap, do you want it? I'm like, yes, I did watch Cowboy Bebop, and yes, I do want that Jericho, thank you. You know, like, I'm never gonna shoot it, but I fucking sit there, do, you know.
No, you know what? I would shoot a 50 Action Express just for the swag of doing so.
Yeah, it is a power move, I guess.
Yeah, I already pay like fucking 70 cents a pop for the 300 Blackout. That ship has sailed.
Right.
Yeah, so like for the swag of doing that at least once, like mag dumping into a steel target, yeah, fuck it, I'll do that. Yeah. But with the full understanding that it's a very, very impractical gun because it's very unreliable.
Oh, absolutely. It's totally there just to fucking look, you know. It's
I think it was made like it's made to be a sporting gun, which is okay, but then why 50 Action Express?
Yeah, it's
like, what were we trying to do here? Are we trying to concuss the competition? Like, what is the utilitarian purpose of having a rifle bolt in a pistol chassis?
I don't know. I think it was one of those because we can situations.
See, like, I wish that Israeli gun makers would stop doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I have a lot of gripes with my people, but the biggest one of them is you're capable of producing AR-15s. I know that because IWI makes those. And yet you still choose to run the fucking Tavor. Like, you have access to normal rifles, but you run bullpups. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I know, too. Oh. God,
Oh, but it's more compact. For what? For fucking urban combat? Just make a fucking Mark 18.
yeah.
Just make the barrel short. You don't have the NFA. Who gives a fuck?
Right. God, the Tavor is an ugly fucking gun, too.
Like, listen, there's no such thing as a non-ugly bullpup, and I will die on this hill.
P90.
No, it's still ugly.
No, it's
just,
cool. The P90 is cool.
It's like a retarded puppy. Like it's cute, but it's still fucking ugly. No, it's like a puppy with downs, but like it's cute. You don't want to put it down, but you know it doesn't really have any quality of life.
But the bullet sideways. It's
That's
cool.
very
helical
like
magazine.
I'd rather. Great, you can use the same helical magazine in a fucking Kel-tec 5.7 or whatever they call their thing that shoots the same magazine.
It's like the P. I think it's like the P500.
Maybe I know that they have something that takes the P90 magazine.
Yeah, it's the I think it's the P500. Yeah, something like that.
See, even that, despite being a Kel-tec, is less ugly than the P90.
Oh no, you're not telling me the P500 is less ugly than the... No way. Nothing Kel-tec makes isn't fucking hideous other than their shotguns. and look, and I say this as somebody who absolutely adores Kel-tec. Like, I love that their shit is ugly as sin.
Yeah, listen, I appreciate them for at least attempting to innovate instead of trying to make, Glock clone number 20 that has the brand new function of having an uncommanded discharge in the holster.
I mean, at least it doesn't explode like normal Glocks do.
Glocks explode?
Since
when?
I think it was like the Gen 3 Glock 19.
Okay, sure. So like 30 years ago.
Yeah, it was
fine.
it was like, I don't know, like 20 years ago, but yeah, either or.
See the SIG P320 still in D's in the holster.
Fucking, I don't know what the fuck happened to SIG, dude, but like it's called Exeter, New Hampshire. That's what happened.
Well, that and making a lot of their metal parts in India.
Yeah.
Let's see, even before they had some of their metal parts made in India, the problem with the P320 is they were trying to reinvent the wheel really for no reason at all, other than trying to fit like the literal bill of the new DoD sidearm contract. Yeah. And they solved a problem nobody asked to solve. And because of that, like they've created an overly complex thing that still manages to fail through all of the redundancies that they've set up. Because people have investigated thoroughly as to like what the actual fuck is even happening. And apparently the takedown lever from a 10mm FCU fits the 9mm FCU, but it doesn't engage the takedown safety.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, and when you reassemble it with the wrong takedown lever, it doesn't hold the sear in place. And the sear in the P320 is always a permanently charged sear.
Oh, boy.
That's why the trigger pull is so nice compared to the dog shit mushy Glocks. And I say that as someone who carries a Glock. And then you add the additional sort of component of the sear catch apparently not always being machined to spec and wearing down through normal use. Normal use being not even firing rounds, but normal use being just carrying the gun. And so the takedown safety not engaging and the sear catch wearing off or skipping alignment, so you have your tolerances overlap to the extent where you get uncommanded discharges on weapons that are just sitting idly in holsters. Yeah, that's not great.
Not good, no.
That seems to be the leading hypothesis, and it's what has been observed on like CT scans of P320s that have gone off. And apparently there's like, it's a double-edged sword, because Apparently, some of the parts are labeled incorrectly in India. Who would have thought?
Big surprise there, sir.
Yeah, and that's how sort of the 10 millimeter takedown levers are ending up in 9 millimeter FCUs because they're like putting them in the wrong bag because there's like a minute difference and it causes that tolerance stacking in parts inside of it, and it leads into all of the redundancies and all of the safeties failing.
Good shit.
Yeah, and there's like, and they're the current winner of the DoD sidearm contract.
Why? We need to stop letting India make things, dude. I'm just saying.
Oh, I mean, iPhones are going to be made in India right now, so, I mean, good luck to all of the fucking Apple fags, I guess.
I guess so, dude. I mean, you wouldn't catch my ass with one of those.
Nah, I'm sticking to Android because I kind of like having granular control over the file system in my phone.
Yeah, I have like some Motorola something or other, and I'm like, it's Motorola. This thing is like, I could beat somebody to death with this phone.
Probably,
yeah. Like it's hefty. It has like a million bajillion cameras. I don't need them. I never use them. I text my sweetie. I get calls from my mom occasionally. That's what the phone's for. That's all I need it to do.
No, my phone is also for playing gacha games, and to play the good gacha games, you need to have a jailbroken phone. Like jailbroken, not in the sense of like breaking the copyright or anything, but it needs to not be condemned to the cuck chair of the walled garden of Apple. Like you need to have the opportunity to install outside APKs in order to get access to the good gacha games.
Right. I only play Reverse 1999, and that's on Steam, so.
Yeah.
And that's only because it's got fucked up weird ass characters like the Sputnik satellite and a dog, a talking dog.
See, if Reverse advertised at least slightly less aggressively, I would have given it the time of day. But because it was like every other pre-roll ad I got was Reverse at a certain extent, at a certain time, I was like, nah, I'm sorry, you're going into the Raid Shadow Legends pile.
I was gonna say I never see ads, so I didn't even know it existed until I was just randomly looking through crap on Steam, and I'm like, this looks weird and fucked up. And it turns out, yeah, it's weird and fucked up. Every character is just awful and miserable, and their lives are terrible. It's like it's the misery porn gacha.
Oh, you would definitely like a lot of Japanese dramas, though.
Oh, I mean, look, I'm out here playing all the Nitro Plus games.
I don't know what that is. I know that
Nitro Plus is they did Sayano Uda and like Doll's Nest, and the guy that like heads Nitro Plus, Gen Urobuchi, is
you're going into like the deep end primo shit, the VNs. That's very niche. You need to go for. I'm talking about like the lowest common denominator, fucking T-jerker TV series.
Okay.
Now that's
no,
or art house movies.
I was gonna say art house for sure, but like Madoka Magica.
I've heard of it. I'm not a big fan of the Mahou Shoujo format in general.
It's definitely like, magical girl, but also gory, awful deaths. You're miserable now.
Yeah, like Magical Girl Site. I got bored on like episode 4.
Magical Girl Site is so garbo, dude. Hell yeah.
Isn't all Mahou Shoujo is garbo.
Dude, but it's fine.
Maybe I'll entertain gushing over magical girls as an exception.
That one's
but that's about it.
So the thing is, like, hot garbage is great. I love hot garbage. The trashier it is.
Well, listen, Baki is hot garbage, and I'm sorry I'm tired of pretending it's not.
It is. It sure looks like shit. I'll give you that.
Well, no. See, that's where I'm going to disagree. The look is just something that a lot of people misunderstand about Itagaki's art style. Like the man's writing is middling, but his art style is primo because you need to read the mangas and you need to read them from a perspective of every panel actually being a woodblock print about modern combat sports.
Yeah, but
And then the graphics start making sense.
No, it makes sense to me. It's just like in the same way that like the Nissan Juke makes sense to me. I still think it's buttfuck ugly. Like I get it. I get that it's buttfuck ugly on purpose, but it doesn't.
Well, no, it's not buttfuck ugly. It's just traditional art that's going to be slightly exaggerated.
I'm just saying that lady getting
like
fucked
those,
by the octopus. That like, come on, dude. I was drawing better than that in 6th grade.
The lady being fucked by the octopus is not peak ukiyo-e, okay? But the point of Baki art is it being Edo period ukiyo-e with tier 5 bodybuilder physiques, and I think it works. He's very good at demonstrating dynamism. He's very good at that. Not quite as great at capturing like technical excellence. I think Sandroichi Yabako does a significantly better job at like being granularly representative of how combat actually works. Granted, with certain allowances for it being fiction, shonen, and whatever the fuck else.
Yeah.
And the writing in Yabako Sensei stuff is also significantly better. I will take the over-the-top 5-layer conspiracy keikaku shit over whatever demons Itagaki is battling in some of the Baki chapters.
I'm fucking. It's like the same thing with JoJo. I just can't I can't do it. I can't look at it.
Well, see, JoJo depends on like how deep into JoJo we're talking.
Yeah.
Up to and including Stardust Crusader, fucking fantastic.
It's just, I don't know. It's the RuPaul's Drag Race of manga.
Well, see, it's not like that in the first 3 chapters.
Like you're talking about like JoJo 1, JoJo 2, and JoJo 3, or like.
Yeah. Stardust Crusader is JoJo 3. Like up to that point, it's all fine.
Yeah.
Is it aggressively homoerotic?
Yeah.
Yes, but because everyone is like big buff men, it kind of makes it okay.
It's much more of its era too. Like
yeah, but then when you bring the twinks into it, now that's just plain gay, and I'm no longer having fun, and I don't want to watch that shit anymore.
I got like 1 chapter into Steel Ball Run, and I was like, I'm good, man.
Nah, I stopped at Diamond is Unbreakable. I watched like 5 episodes, and I was like, no, sorry, this is camp and gay. I'm no longer watching this. I'm sorry, but the G-string bedecked, oiled up vampires were less gay than whatever this is.
Yeah, it's just too much. It's just too much.
Yeah. You gotta know your limits. So yeah, there's definitely a certain subtlety that has to be maintained. Itagaki breaks away from that. Like when you dedicate an entire 6 pages to explaining that whatever you fuck is female just because you're such a man. Nah, like I think you need to do some soul searching, my guy.
It's like I don't know about that one, Chief.
I don't know about that one. I think you're battling some demons there, my friend.
It's like I don't know who you're lying to, but it's like I'm not biting that. I'm not biting that bait, my man.
I'm not signing on to that bill of goods. I'm sorry. Like the biting titanium teeth martial art, I'm willing to suspend disbelief for that one. The having your testosterone spike so hard that you fuck a mountaineer and that's still somehow not gay? Nah. Hard pass on that one. I'm sorry. Also, the prison arc is just fucking weird. Like I don't know. Maybe Netflix adapted it poorly because that one I only watched in the Netflix adaptation. But it's just so drab and boring and bitchy. Like it's just Mean Girls in prison.
Yeah, which could be cool if it was actually just like Mean Girls in prison.
Yeah, but cool, it's like passive-aggressive, closeted gay mean girls in prison.
It's like, no, that's not. We ain't lying about that.
Yeah, like we've gone from, just punching each other very hard to mind games, politics, and reputation management. I'm sorry, that's not why I watch or read Baki. Apparently his daughter is the author of Beastars.
Yes.
And for some reason she's lifted the piss scene, like, panel for panel.
Yeah. The, fucking, God, Beastars sucked so bad. Oh my God, Beastars is such dog shit.
I've just seen parts of it, and I'm like, oh, theater kid drama with furries? Hard pass.
It is legitimately the most, like, racism bad. It's like, but this time animals, and it's like,
yeah, you can tell she's definitely fucking Itagaki's child, because he's unfortunately also attempted to stick his foot into commenting on American politics for some reason.
We love when the Japanese
with
do
like,
that.
he also does that with like the most default libtard takes too. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, let's have a scene with Trump complaining to Yujiro about a stolen election, but also not have a conversation about ballot harvesting, because I guess that pierces, farther down than the surface level of default lib takes that you're willing to entertain.
Fucking...
That'll happen when you get most of your information about American politics from fucking Real Time with Bill Maher, I guess.
I guess so. It could be worse. Could be Colbert.
God, I remember a time when Colbert was at least funny.
Yeah, there was a couple times there where he was at least pseudo entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he had the same thing, the same phenomenon of like accidentally based when he was still doing I forget the previous show he had when he was like LARPing as a caricature of a hardline based Republican, and then he was like accidentally based in the takes he was giving. Yeah. So that was at least mildly entertaining.
Yeah, sometimes you fly too close to the sun, and then your handlers end up threatening you, and you.
I don't think it even had to do with handlers. I think it's more of a Starship Troopers movie adaptation kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like when they tried to make it a caricature of what they deemed to be fascism, and then it turned out to be actually very cool. Like they keep doing the meme of pointing at the coolest thing ever and saying, "Yeah, that thing, it actually sucks."
Yeah. It's like Archie Bunker from All in the Family. It's like he's supposed to be like, you're not supposed to agree with him, but you like actually listen to what he says, and you're like, that guy's he's fucking right. He's cool.
Yeah. Or more to point at a more recent example, the writing of Barbie.
Yeah.
The Barbie movie is accidentally based for like all of the reasons that the author probably does not understand. Yep. Oh, so men were about to fix everyone's problem by implementing a functioning political system, but women engaged in manipulation and scheming and then reverted society back to being exclusively miserable? What did the screenwriter mean by this?
That's good though.
It's
good though. Let them like they make this mistake. Fucking all the time. Yeah, it's like
Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Judge Dredd is supposed to be like a tongue-in-cheek critique of the American police state. Yeah. In turn, they keep making it cool.
Yeah, it's like, no, he is the law, dog. Like, what part of I am the law didn't you understand?
Yeah, look at that jaw. You never stood a chance. Yeah. The physiognomy never lies.
We out here taking the calipers to people's skulls. Just as God intended. And look, ever since we stopped fucking measuring people's skull dimensions, like things have gone downhill. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not going to go that far. I will state for the record that the physiognomy check so far has never been wrong.
It seems it's very accurate. It's surprisingly accurate.
Yeah. The accuracy rate is disturbing, to say the very least. Like, you see your common white guy for Kamala, and like, you can guess everything that's going to come out of his mouth in the next following minute. Up to and including like all of the argumentation, all of the logical fallacies, and like you can predict these people's every opinion ever.
So it's the good old soy boy.
Yeah,
gotta love him.
I'm not sure if they've started differentiating, if there's some kind of class struggle between the soys now. Because apparently they're trying to I say they, I mean like the deranged far left is attempting to rebrand and reach out to American men.
I saw that, and it was like I was like,
they canceled the talk because the fat bitch who was trying to do like a get together with Austin University fraternities got fucking summarily turned down by all of them.
Jesus Christ.
I guess she was busy crying while binging all 3 pizzas she ordered for the evening, so she didn't show up to the talk.
Well, it's like what was legitimately their plan? Because like from what I had read, it was like, young men who are voting more conservatively, they're actually in favor of trans rights and LGBT issues and shit. And it's like, no, not really. I don't really care. I just kind of want shit to be cheaper, and I don't want to pay taxes, and I really like guns. Other than that, I don't really care.
From the mission statement that was outlined, they want to push the Overton window as far left as they can, but they think that can be done by sugarcoating the gay race communism with male-coded vernacular.
Oh, yeah.
That's the planning. They're trying to turn it. Yeah, they think that the problem is the semantic games and not the gay race communism.
Because we all know the semantic games are what everybody wants to fucking hear in their fucking political discourse.
Yeah. Like, the political discourse is actually a real life skill check for speech.
Yeah.
And it's not like we as a cohort who, like, it's not as if the most productive cohort of society just vehemently disagrees with what you're trying to sell us. Like, we actually don't want to go into the longhouse. We don't want to become European.
Yeah.
We don't want to be taxed to death to fund a welfare state of people who don't want to participate. And we kind of also don't want to be made second-class citizens in the society that we helped build and maintain.
Bring back the juggernaut. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but apparently a gay guy, a Turkish guy, and a fat bitch are going to convince us otherwise.
Yep. It's fucking, it's clearly worked for him so far.
Well, listen, to be fair, here's the thing. It worked for them a little bit for a short while they had a monopoly on, most relevant information flow. And while they could get away with cheating, and yes, sorry YouTube, but the 2020 election was cheated.
Yep.
You may even say stolen, because ballot harvesting is fucking cheating. If you can't activate your voter base to actually go to the fucking poll and vote for your shit, then that vote doesn't count. And especially if you start throwing those votes that you've harvested between counties in order to secure electoral wins in specific areas of the state. That's just, it's basically districting in reverse.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah, you turn voting into a shell game.
Look, I'm of the opinion that only landowning men should be able to vote, personally.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah, things were better back then.
Yeah, mostly. I mean, we can try a novel. See, landowning men, you need to break through. You need to shift the Overton window very, very much away from where it is. It needs to travel a lot. We can try looking for a middle ground. You have to be a net contributor of federal tax.
Huh.
Like if you get more benefits by at least a cent than you have paid taxes in a particular tax year, you don't get to vote. That's it. Tough shit.
Hell yeah. Honestly, I mean, we can just get rid of voting altogether, dude. I'm telling you, God Emperors. God Emperors.
Well, here's
go.
the thing. The problem with God Emperors and any kind of sort of static structure is that you still need some kind of check in order, because, okay, fine. Right now we have T-money. Like, we have Trump right now. Trump is what? Like, he's approaching his 80s?
He's something like that. He's fucking old.
He's fucking old. He's energetic. He's still functioning, but he's fucking old. We don't know how he's going to hold up after 4 years in office of actively running around and just doing shit. I'm happy that he's doing that, but realistically, he's going to be all tuckered out by the end of that. Maybe Trump finds a good heir apparent who can carry the torch for the next generation. But then you have the question of the next generation after that. And like you're starting to run into all of the problems of inbred monarchies. Like, look at Britain. They have a fucking monarch. And he's a fucking globo homo leftist. Like, he's severely, severely cucked. Yeah. Despite technically being the monarch of the fucking Commonwealth. Yeah. While there's a fucking Muslim majority in his country actively taking over over constituencies, like, where they've formed ethnic and religious enclaves. Like, what the fuck is he doing with that?
Oh, fucking nothing. The royal family doesn't do anything.
Yeah, even though they do have the legal power to just dissolve parliament.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be based. Just angry old man's like, nope, no more of this bullshit. Time
Queen
out.
Elizabeth was rumored to almost do that. Like, she was on the cusp of consulting with, like, there was a rumor that she was consulting the army to support the dissolution of Parliament because they were just fucking around to no end, and they are still fucking around to no end.
That's why they fucking killed her with the vaccine, dude.
Did they?
That's how it happened, dude. She was perfectly healthy, and then they fucking gave her that. They gave her that Moderna.
Really? Did they?
That's what happened.
I'm not aware of the particulars of that one. I just assumed that the old lady was heartbroken about one of her grandsons being married off to a twice divorcee older than him and moving to the States.
Yeah, well, I mean, that probably didn't help.
Excuse me, a divorced, washed up starlet. Yeah. Whose main claim to fame is carrying out a suitcase on a game show in a short dress.
Yeah, imagine getting kicked out of the royal family for fucking mediocre washed up pussy.
Yeah.
Like, God damn, dude. You like this. You know, it's like they say. It's like this is what no pussy does to a motherfucker. It's like sometimes you got to see what pussy does to a motherfucker. Sometimes that's even worse.
That's very. Yeah, imagine not just that. Imagine getting kicked out of the royal family for fucking Harvey Weinstein's sloppy seconds.
Oh, damn, dude. Damn. It's hard in the streets, dude. It's hard in the streets, man. Kansas is like if you can't make it like in the royal family, like what hope do any of us have?
Fucking unfit for life, I'm telling you. The fucking Habsburg curse is strong, but that sort of brings me to my original point of, see, maybe we don't want to install like a particular family as a constant fixture of our ruling class. Maybe we want to keep the juices flowing in and out and have some kind of mechanism to correct. Because that's essentially what we had until recently. Yeah. Like, to your point, we've basically had an installed and entrenched political class. And then Trump was the wrecking ball that we as a population used to knock them the fuck out. And I kind of appreciate having access to that. I just preferred that we didn't have to wait for it to get this fucking bad.
Right. And it's and we are at a point where it's only a matter of time till the next election cycle comes up. It's like, oh, do we just end up back where we started? Nothing actually gets better again, or do we regress? Because it's entirely possible.
That depends. That depends. He's gotten a lot of stuff done already.
Yeah, but like if given the opportunity, they'll just roll all that shit back.
Well, it's going to be difficult to roll some of that stuff back. Like, for example, whatever ends up in the budget reconciliation, that's going to be difficult to roll back because they would need to secure a landslide that was as hard as last year's election. Yeah. And last year's election was a hard fucking grievance election. Yeah. So someone needs to fuck up very bad. Yeah. And they need to have some kind of a sure thing that promises an exit out of whatever faux pas the opposition offers to get a comparable majority. And if T-Money does a good job at deporting 3,000 illegals per day, by the next redistricting, sanctuary cities may lose seats.
Yeah, it's just gonna get just gonna get harder. Which good, fuck them.
Yeah, fuck 'em. Yeah. Listen, the most I've come to embrace the logic of most problems being fixable by deporting 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Housing too expensive? Deport 100,000 people. Wages too low? Deport 100,000 people. There's a budget deficit? Deport another 100,000 people. Easily solvable issues. That's why I kind of like Stephen Miller. Like I'm enjoying the memes of him just looking at every minority he sees and thinking of how can he deport them.
Mate, hey, look, I'm for it.
Yeah, listen, I'm just disappointed that ICE is not offering bounties.
Oh, I thought that was a thing.
Unfortunately, no. Oh. I think they did that in like one state, and that's about it. Man. Like Texas is never going to do that because they understand that fucking southern boys are gonna go hunt.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna be if it was an actual thing, I can imagine that turning into a shit show real fast. That's that. Yeah. I was gonna say, you know what? It sounds good on paper because I'm like, I could be earning a couple $1,000s right now, but then I'm like, also burn down a bunch of cities, so probably not a good idea.
Well, let's see, I wouldn't say that it's going to burn down a bunch of cities, but a bunch of good old country boys are definitely going to be congregating around their pickups with lots of guns and kicking some doors down.
Today, boys, we're raiding the Home Depot parking lot.
Pretty much, yeah. They're going to be stacking those hogs high.
Fucking Alpha Squad, you're hitting the Home Depot. Charlie, you're hitting the Lowe's.
Essentially, yeah.
So,
see, I think ICE definitely doesn't want to compete with the entirety of the native population of Texas in hunting them illegals down.
Just Texas just starts spreading as just like a cancerous growth. It's like all of a sudden, it's like, wait, where'd New Mexico go?
Listen, I'm fully expecting people to go as far as to drive to Mexico to catch fresh Mexicans and give them to ICE to deport.
It's like I'm just like bring them over to
put it past them
to ship them back.
They just smuggle them in, just hand them over to ICE.
It's like all of a sudden New Mexico is just part of Texas, and I'm sitting here in eastern Arizona like, don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare. Look, we're cool. Like, you stay over there. You can have New Mexico. We don't want them.
We just annex Phoenix.
Just fucking, I mean, look, once, like, you can have Phoenix. Yeah, dude, take care of Phoenix and Flagstaff and, like, Tucson. Leave the rest of the state alone. But we gladly take help from the you got the Arizona Ranger with the big iron on his hip, and then the Texas Rangers, that's a 1-2 punch right there.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, no, they're still not deputizing good old Southern boys. I think someone has done the math and figured out that You maybe don't want to open that particular Pandora's box.
Yeah, I don't think so.
In due time, at the very least, letters of marque are back on the menu.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
You know,
Yeah,
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah. Listen, again, apparently you can just do things, and if we get 4 years of just doing things at the same pace we're getting them in the last less than 6 months. I'm fucking fine with that. I think we're in a good place. I think that, again, Trump needs to solve the issue of succession in the sense that he needs to present a palpable heir apparent, and that heir apparent needs to not shit the bed. I'd say that the runners-up here are going to be Marco Rubio, Stephen Miller, and J.D. Vance.
No, hopefully not Marco Rubio.
I mean, he's gotten better.
Yeah.
Like, he's suddenly had a very based glow up.
Yeah, I mean, Ted Cruz did too. It was the beard. For Cruz, it was the beard. Once Ted Cruz grew the facial hairs, all of a sudden he was saying like super base shit, and I was like, whoa, dude, what happened to you?
Well, I mean, he pivoted towards, the core electorate in Texas, and, good for him. He's at least one senator that I'm not embarrassed for.
I was like,
because my other option is fucking Cornyn.
Don't get me started on who we got here in Arizona, dude. I don't know what the fuck keeps happening there.
Do you still have the fucking guy who fucked a Chinese spy, or?
Yeah, I don't even actually know. I don't know if we still do or not. I think so. Yeah, Mark Kelly. Yeah.
No, Mark Kelly was the astronaut.
Oh, but was Mark Kelly the astronaut? I thought he was. Wait, which is the one who?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't know. Ruben Gallegos.
I think it was a Congress. I think one of your Congress critters was the one who fucked the Chinese asset.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Eric Swalwell, I think, is his last name. I may be mixing it up, but it sounds like a movie character name, like a fake name. I think it was Eric Swalwell.
No, Swalwell is Californian. Yeah, he's like Alameda County. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm confusing him with someone.
I don't know.
Yeah, y'all's elections played out kind of weird.
It's always weird. They do a lot of fucking bullshit shenanigans here.
Yeah, for some reason it's always Maricopa County who needs like 2 weeks to count the ballots, even though the rest of the country is done counting.
Yeah, it's shenanigans. It's
always Maricopa for some reason. Like it's always the district that's run by Democrats.
Yeah, well, see, Maricopa is Phoenix, so yeah, it's like
big urban center.
Yeah,
what you're gonna do?
Yeah, so. Well, I don't know about you, dog, but I am incredibly full of piss and incredibly out of alcohol.
You can take a piss break, or we can call it a night for today.
I think calling it's cool because we've been going for like 3 hours plus.
Yeah, we got a solid 3 hours, so I think that's. Listen, nobody's stopping you from coming back on.
Yeah, no, gladly, absolutely, I'd love to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on my second year of running the podcast, so I guess I'm sort of in the season where I should start cycling people back in,
right,
at least the ones who still take my calls.
Understandable.
So, you know what? I joke about it, but oddly enough, I've actually not had bad experiences with any people off of the particular part of the basket weaving forum.
Sure.
Where I socialize. Like, I had the reputation of being the loose cannon who's supposedly shunned by other people on that particular thread, which is, like, it couldn't be farther from the truth.
Yeah, a lot of people who are quote-unquote here, they're, like, at least all the ones that I know that you and I have, like, crossover with those associates, like, they're all cool.
Yeah.
Everyone's cool. Everyone's chill.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a few outliers, few and far between. I was banned from one of the channels because because the Canadian mods felt threatened by were made unsafe by my presence after Donald Trump got elected.
Oh, dude. I need this sort of reputation because you've heard this shit that I say on my stream and shit like that. Like, it's like we're very much in close company here. It's like,
oh yeah, absolutely. We're very much aligned. I've just managed to sort of kick the door down very aggressively, label myself as a political VTuber, and I've had my dedicated schizos carry my name far and wide.
Yeah, not having dedicated schizos is definitely like where I'm slacking. I need dedicated schizos.
I think I have two. I think I have at least two.
Oh, nice.
And for some reason, so it's either one person with severe bipolar and schizophrenia, or it's two diametrically opposed people who just never seem to intersect, never seem to be on the thread at the same time. Because one of them is like a complete fucking Mao tier leftard, and the other one is a disaffected groiper. So one of them keeps calling me a right-wing Nazi,
Hell yeah, dude.
which is, you know, especially funny given my heritage.
Right,
Shalom.
Yeah.
but
as a member of
but for the other
hey,
one,
there were members of the tribe, and you know.
Listen, man's got to make a living, eh? But but the other one's constant gripe is that I'm not right wing enough. And those two fucking retards keep chasing me through the fucking thread.
Jesus, dude. It's like this. He's a fascist. It's like, why doesn't he talk about the wooden doors?
Yes,
like,
it's that. It's literally that.
You got two wolves inside you, right?
And both of them are
Both
retarded.
of them are retarded. They may or may not be gay. There's one that's like he wants to enact a genocide, and the other one's like, I'm just saying 6 million's a kind of an unreasonable number.
So, maybe it's not enough.
and maybe it's not enough. Who knows? I'm just saying.
Like actual, like the leftard, like he's a complete NPC. Like all of the arguments you get from that side are all of the same, completely cookie cutter.
Right.
Like I'm a misogynist. I am a racist. I am what other compliments did I receive from that person? Right wing grifter, anime Joe Rogan.
Anime Joe Rogan.
Anime
Joe
Joe
dude,
Rogan.
we didn't even get to talk about chimpanzees at any point during this podcast. Damn.
we're gonna have to catch up on that.
We'll have to put that rain check on that one. Save that for next time.
Yeah. Have you heard of this wild herbal remedy? It's called tea. Without the DM. Yeah. And the other one is like, well, Kuromaru is like pretends to be like all based in right wing, but he hides behind an anime avatar, which is like antithetical to being based in right wing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is this like the boomer tier argument of show me your real face, coward? Like, imagine not understanding informational hygiene on 4chan.
Yeah, dude. It's like the OPSEC, motherfucker. Can you do it?
Yeah. Have you considered that there's a reason why I may want to stick to being pseudonymous on the internet?
Dang.
But it's funny. See, another thing that I always want to discuss and always falls to the wayside is we need to draw a very clear distinction of like where is the line between monster fucker and furry. Because the line definitely exists, but it has to be drawn.
Sure. And sometimes those lines can be a little nebulous, but you know.
No. So very
you can
very
take a stand one way or the other.
There has to be a specific line. There has to be a very specific line drawn because the implications of both are very different.
Oh, sure.
Because liking monster girls is just liking women who are consistent outwardly with what they are inside.
Right. It's
And being a furry is, probably just a lack of a father figure in the home.
Sure. Yeah. Or just way too much Disney and way too much wasteful income.
Disney?
Yeah, Disney, dude.
Why specific? See, I grew up with Disney movies, and I I find that line of argumentation very irksome.
I was gonna say because like I mean, think of how many people are like, God, I'd fuck Lola Bunny. Granted, not Disney, but you see the anthropomorphized cartoon characters.
A bit of a stretch, honestly. Like it.
Oh, I mean,
I feel like there needs to be a lot of reinforcement in order to ingrain. Like there are a lot of steps that you need to take between Lola Bunny is kind of hot and I want to suck a wolf's dick.
Yeah,
like there are a lot of steps in between those.
Yeah, there's a lot of steps in between those. But I think that like if like you. Well, I don't know. It depends. We'd have to do like a clinical study to be like, okay, so what cartoons were you watching as a kid to make you all fucked up in the head? You know? See, we have to get like a baseline, because like
look at 90s CN cartoons. Like those were like legitimately fucked up. Like those were definitely made by people on drugs who were very unwell.
Oh yeah, no, I mean fucking. I'm out here watching fucking Japanese ultraviolence movies just for funsies, and my favorite cartoon as a kid was Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah, there you go. Like something about those cartoons definitely scarred the psyche of a generation, but like not in a way that turned them into furries. Right. Like the pathogen is different. Right. There's a different stimulus here.
Johnny Bravo, second favorite, probably why I'm a misogynist.
Listen, absolutely. Like the more you look back at Johnny Bravo, the more you understand that he's literally me, and he's actually kind of right. Yeah. Well, okay. Don't let me drag this out any further. Yeah. We have been going for quite a while, so let's can that for next time.
Yeah, we'll save that for later.
Yeah. Thank you for dropping by. Where can people find you?
So almost every day, usually almost always in the mornings, like 9 Arizona time, which I think is like 8 Pacific. Mm-hmm. It's like 8. Yeah, like 8 Pacific, 9 Pacific, somewhere around there. In the mornings, wagey hours on twitch.tv/FlavorfulVT.
There we go.
That's the best place to find me. I play a lot of like schizocore games, and then a lot of Yakuza. But I'm almost out of Yakuza. So.
What? Why are you playing Marvel Rivals? Like, sorry, I can't watch your streams when you do that. Like, because you're completely sucked into the Overwatch slop. And like you're not really reactive to chat or not really discussing anything outside of the dog shit gameplay.
The gameplay is fun. It's better. It is better than it's fun.
Like it's Overwatch with prettier women. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's like a solid 7 out of 10 game right there. I'm staring at Scarlet Witch's ass throwing fucking pentakills, dude. Pure chaos.
See, I see how the experience is fun, but damn, like I'm just telling you, it makes ass for watching. I need to get you into Milsim slop.
Oh jeez. Oh ugh.
I need to get you playing fucking Ready or Not.
Oh god. I don't know if
we're gonna condition you. We're gonna condition you to like we're gonna condition you to reenact and enjoy reenacting every police shooting video you've ever seen.
That's a lot. There's a lot of those. So.
See, we're gonna start with the easy one, like screaming taser, taser, and then mag dumping into the purge.
I didn't say Simon Says. Bah, 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 bah.
There you go. Okay, man.
Thanks for having me.
Let me let you go with that one, but thanks for dropping by.
Thanks, man. Take it easy.